capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Change.
Doing things like my daughter now. I was put my arm up like she's dancing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number, I nearly said 235. Josh doing a whole zoom in.
Trying to zoom out.
Let me preface this episode with an apology to our listeners for last week. Kind of dropped the ball, and there was a technical issue. Our stream last week was live stream only. There was no podcast audio due to technical errors.
Nothing made it to Spotify
Yeah.
or any other podcast platform. Our bad.
Yeah. Shit happens. We apologize.
And then...
And then... Hang on, I need to send a screenshot. I need to fucking fact check some fools for a second, and then I'm done. I am so sorry. I need an image of the Thing from 1985 to prove to these fools that he had a fucking thick-ass eyebrow.
Whoa, that was loud. Well, while Rob is looking to lay the smack down, I guess I'll tell you guys what comics we're having this show. Well, the ones that we're covering are Justice League, The Atom Project #2, JSA #4, Shazam #20, Poison Ivy #30, Birds of Prey #18, and Batman #157. Also released this week was Batman Offworld #6, Two-Face #3, and Batgirl #4. Absolute Superman #4 came out, and as a reminder, our Absolute book reviews will be coming at the end of every month for the foreseeable future, especially as they continue to grow.
Exactly. Okay, sorry. Oh my god. Okay. I need to stop talking about movies. But here I am going to bring up a movie. Fantastic Four: The First Steps trailer has released. I think it looks good. And that's all I'm going to say.
No, I was pleasantly surprised. I've kind of been out of the loop for most of the Marvel movies since I saw Wolverine and Deadpool last summer, but honestly, it kind of felt like I had such a malaise for the movies for the past few years. It hasn't really been any interest for me personally, but no, I feel really excited about this one actually. It feels like it'll just be something fun, not building towards the next big crossover bonanza.
Oh, but it is.
Yeah.
It should be a fun film.
It might be building to a crossover bonanza, but it's going to be in end of the movie or post-credit tease. It's not going to be the whole point of the movie, which is
that's sort of what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like when I saw, what was that, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? It was like
that was pure MCU plot that had nothing to do with Doctor Strange.
And it was like the first time I remember walking out of the theater with a couple other people from my club, and it was like the first time I'd had an experience with the Marvel movies where I felt like I was reading a very insular comic that was just relying entirely on connections to previous things.
Yeah.
Not that they hadn't existed before, but it was like half the movie was just exposition for here's what you missed in fucking WandaVision and other things that I didn't watch. So
yeah, pretty much. It was like a tie-in to an event or something.
Yeah.
that nobody wanted to read.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a damn shame because I
Yeah.
was actually stoked for that movie.
Yeah. Ugh, what a
Oh,
disappointment.
here's hoping Fantastic Four looks like it's not going to be that whatsoever. But if I may, and a lot of other fans across the internet are picking up on it too, I realized after watching the trailer that this July we're looking at some pretty dope comic book movie renaissance stuff. We have James Gunn's Superman and Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four, and both look, in my humble opinion, fucking stellar.
Yeah,
They
there's a
look
lot to be excited
heavily,
for.
yeah, heavily comic accurate. The stories look interesting, at least what we have so far. Um, I think it's going to be a good July for comic book movies.
Mm. I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Certainly hope so. Hopefully, it'll be a good year for comic book movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. All right. News. Uh, we due to my workload being a little bit lot and lack of interest in them and saving on time. Um, gonna put to bed the honorable mentions, and if I read them, I'll share, but they're not gonna be a priority. But that's about it.
Well,
Yep,
if
that's
I
it.
can say, um, I know that there have been a lot of delays, but please, everyone go out and read Batman Offworld. That book was so much fucking fun.
I haven't read this issue, but so far it was
It's
fantastic.
like I kept saying it. It felt like a Batman miniseries from the early 2000s in the best way possible. It was just
Hmm.
really fun. Did not take itself seriously at all, and had a pretty solid ending.
It was good. And quite the appropriate title in more ways than one. Um, yeah, that's it. You guys have anything?
I just want to. Sir Brady is still yelling at me. um, I want to double what Brandon said that Batman Off World. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read it on the way home, last issue, and I can't help but feel like maybe when the whole Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee, Hush 2 arc is done, we might be getting some Batman ongoing from Jason Aaron. Because
I,
this
yeah.
had the whole like what was the Chips Darsky?
Batman the Night.
Yeah, Batman the Night. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting which one was his and which one was Tom Taylor's. Um, yeah, Batman the Night, and then Chip Zdarsky took elements of that into his run. I could see elements of Offworld ending up in a Batman run written by Jason Aaron.
Yeah. I mean, I would kind of hope that it would, because most of Chip Zdarsky's run was pretty separate. I feel like that's fair to say. Like, they definitely picked up on some plot threads from the Night.
Hmm.
But I liked that. Well,
There were references to it.
yeah, there were references to it, but it wasn't the main focus. So
Right.
I could definitely see someone like Ione or um, elements of the Slag Galaxy coming back. But I just want to see more of what Jason Aaron might be able to do with the full Batman title. His Batman voice reminds me a lot of his Wolverine voice, which may be a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you ask. But I really liked it.
I enjoyed it here too. So Jason Aaron wrote some Wolverine, huh?
Yeah, no, that's kind of where he got his big start. That and Ghost Rider. Well, Ghost Rider first, then um, was it Punisher? Might have been Punisher Max. The timelines are a little confusing, but as I remember, I think it
As
was
always.
Ghost Rider, then Punisher Max, then Wolverine in 2010, and then sometime after that might have done Schism. I think that was 2011, and then Wolverine, the X-Men, and then, well, yeah, then Thor, and then what some would say is the beginning of the downfall.
In the beginning of the downfall.
Works
Yeah.
quality.
But you said Wolverine and the X-Men?
Yeah,
Jason Aaron did some of that?
Wolverine did the initial run of Jason Aaron. Wolverine the X-Men.
Wolverine did Jason Aaron and the X-Men.
Wolverine did Jason Aaron and the X-Men.
Bub.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah,
I
that was
thought it
a
Bendis.
that was a post-schism book. So
Yeah,
Cyclops
because I
went
remember
to-
Bendis was writing like that entire era, and I thought he was
Well, this
writing
is
that too.
really enough. This is like right before that. So Schism happens in 2011. Scott goes west. Wolverine stays in the east to run the Grey Malkin School with Kitty Pryde. And
Yeah.
then, like maybe a year later, AVX happens, and that's when the Bendis run starts because they do a complete shakeup of the titles. So Kieran Gillen, who was doing
Right.
Uncanny X-Men, ends up having to leave the book, which to this day still gives me fucking chills because that book was so good and could have been like one of the greats had he not been kicked off for fucking Bendis. But anyway, yeah, there's still a line from Unit that gives me chills where he's like, think of all that could have been, which was so meta. And I was just like, oh my God, if only we could have known. But yeah, no, Bendis takes over in like 2013 with all new X-Men and Uncanny
And messes it up just like he did Action Comics.
yeah, well, I should have just kept writing Miles Morales and spared us the trouble, but that's another story.
I mean, I'll like I wasn't reading Kieran Gillen's Uncanny. I know I should have, but I will say I enjoyed Bendis's X-Men for what it was.
You are a rare breed. Although, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a weird thing that had Bendis not taken the X-Men gig, we may not have gotten Hickman Avengers. So I don't know. It's a little weird to say because pretty much the only reason he left Avengers towards the end of 2012 into 2013 was to write X-Men. And, you know, freeing up the Avengers title, let John Hickman pitch, who just finished Ultimate. So I don't know. Had that not happened, I guess what I'm saying is if there's any silver lining to that very confusing and troubling era, it's the fact that we got the whole
The fact that
Avengers
Hickman was there to
stuff.
save shit.
Yeah. Well, come in and do a very interesting take on Avengers. Anyway, I'm getting way sidetracked, but yes, Jason Aaron did that first run of Wolverine the X-Men, and it is liked. I don't really know. I don't know what the opinion is on that book. I've heard some people like it. I've heard some people hate it. I'm not really sure. There doesn't seem to be a common consensus.
Well, then I guess that just means people have to go out and find out for themselves.
Yeah.
Go to the comic shop and read it.
Yep.
I think there's an omnibus for it, so you wouldn't have too much trouble reading it all in one place. But I would recommend sticking with Ghost Rider and Wolverine because those are pretty solid, and those will not let you down. Thor, on the other hand, yeah, I would say read it at your own caution because it very much goes off the rails. By the
Thor,
time.
you said?
Yeah, his run on
Yeah.
Thor.
Gizm sounds so familiar. I want to say I read that.
You might have. I would be
Cyc-
surprised
Cyclops
if
and
you did.
Wolverine.
Yeah,
having a big-
considering you were very much off Marvel for years, but
yeah.
basically some mutant kids die. Wolverine gets sad because he's a softie, and Cyclops is like, "This is war," and sometimes kids have to fight in war, which is fucked up. But yeah, anyway.
Was it when the Sentinels were like going at the school?
I don't
Did
think
that
it was
happen during that storyline?
No, that was
Not
earlier.
like friendly, like attacking the school itself, like those super Sentinels
Yeah.
or some shit.
That was when Scott had the full blue costume, but I think that was before Shazam.
Okay. Canadians.
What?
Shazam.
That's not just Canadians. That's most of the fucking world.
Yeah, I just say schism because I love freedom.
Wow. I did not even know that was a difference of opinion on how that's pronounced. I thought it was just generally Shazam.
Nope. Then I refuse to say schedule.
I mean, that's
Maybe
your prerogative.
fancy, maybe.
What's that?
If I'm being fancy, maybe,
That's
but
my schedule.
yeah,
You're what?
trying to be like trying to put on airs or something. Like, oh, I need to put this on my schedule. Not in a serious way, just like when you're
Yeah.
trying to be fake.
Hand me my fountain pen, dear.
Exactly.
I need to address this in my schedule.
You got it.
All right. You know what else I got?
What do you got?
Shingles?
Damn.
I don't know. What do you have?
I have the first book.
Hell yeah!
Would you guys
Before we
like
move
me
on, I
to-
just want to point out it's that Wolverine the X-Men was a super fun book, and everybody should read it.
I
Wolverine.
remember
and
enjoying
the
like the first arc. I don't really remember it all that well, but
I did stop at a certain. I think I stopped shortly after Wolverine died,
Yeah.
but it was a fun, like, just picture like a high school sitcom, but Wolverine is the principal, and all the teenagers have superpowers.
See, I liked that basic concept, but
It's fucking perfect.
yeah, I mean that's a series I should actually try and finish at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it gave us such amazing characters like Kid Omega.
Well, I guess making
And-
Kid Omega more prominent again, since
Yeah.
kind of like faded to the background since the Grant Morrison run.
Who was the one?
Oh, but
I
Kid
can't
Omega
believe
was
I
around
forgot.
before that? No.
Oh yeah, no, his whole like first major appearance and storyline is the Riot arc from New X-Men,
No,
where
damn.
he's like he becomes a like a mutant rebel basically.
And that's when he showed up later with the shirt after the
Well, this is
Cyclops
more like
was
he
great.
was taking like mutant drugs that would give him enhanced powers and was leading a gang and
Oh man,
very strange stuff.
yeah, it's
Fun
trouble
times,
with the
fun
Ripple
times.
Brother.
Yeah.
But my top two favorites are Eyeboy and Herman Blob.
Everyone loves Glob.
Glob,
What is
yeah,
it? I don't know. I never really got on the Glob hype train to be
because
honest.
he's
I like
he's a
Glob in
shitty
the-
mutant, but he's so fun.
I like Glob in
Gold Balls
the
is a shitty
new
mutant,
series
and I
'cause
couldn't really care less about
I
him.
love Gold Balls too.
I don't
The
think
only
I
time he
remember
was
Gold
of
Balls.
any
It
interest
was
was,
Bendis era Uncanny.
yeah. The only time he was of any interest was when he was part of the Five during the Krakoa era. Otherwise,
No.
I could not care less.
He's good comedy as a cook in the current
Yeah.
run.
Yeah,
And it's like this guy's a cook. I mean, what?
he doesn't.
Apparently he's a good one. He doesn't even have taste buds. How the hell does this work? That's funny. He's Glob. That's how it works.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, Gold Balls is like Speedball, but pricier.
Huh?
If I'm not mistaken, isn't
That
Speedball
sounded like an ad for a male escort service. What are you doing?
now with the Gold Ball package, you can
Hmm.
ignore the Speedball discourse. Now, Speedball's whole power is he just had like I don't even remember. I never read New Warriors growing up. Speedball's power he like had.
It was like bouncy, I thought.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
was
like
it?
Cannonball,
Oh,
basically. He could
Oh, okay.
launch himself very far, and he could ricochet.
I just
Something-
remember
He
every
could
picture
ricochet
I
as
saw,
far
he had
as
balls
he,
around him.
hard as he hit, or some shit like that. It had to do with kinetic energy.
Fair enough. I just remember seeing like colorful balls or spheres every time I saw them on a page.
Yeah, I think that's just an after effect of is like Josh said, the kinetic energy that when he
Yeah.
bounces off of something or ricochets or whatever the hell it is exactly, it creates that effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were sitting around the editor's table, and they were like, "Do you want to do these colored trails, or do you want us to just write boing?"
Yeah.
I guess colors went out apparently.
I'll say it like this for Gold Balls, and I don't know if it'll make a difference for you. You remember
Gold balls.
Ultimate Spider-Man, the original, when
balls.
Bendis was first writing it back in like 2000,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, this is the last time I liked
introduced
Bendis.
he introduced a character called Kong.
Yeah. Oh my
And it's
god.
just like it's just like a bully kind of for Flash Thompson instead.
Yeah, he's like his sidekick basically.
Yeah. Gold Balls is Kong with superpowers. That's
I mean,
the whole point. I
that
think
he's like what a joke. I don't see the connection.
pretty much, yeah. that's that's the point. Yeah, he's meant to be a funny character, but like I don't know if that would have like changed your perception of him or anything.
Huh.
If you enjoyed Kong in any capacity,
I did enjoy
because I made that
Kong for
connection
the-
early on.
Yeah, occasional like one-liners or something.
Yeah.
I don't know because I feel like well for some reason later on like after the relaunch he was like dating Kitty Pryde, which to me made no sense at all. But I do remember every now and then he'd slip in like I wish I could remember them too, but a couple of like really just off the cuff remarks that I was like that was weird, but that was kind of funny. Yeah, I wish I could find him. I have to go through my Ultimate Spider-Man trades to see, but I don't know. I've never like been the biggest fan of the New Warriors anyway, so probably wouldn't have learned that much about Speedball anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, they seem kind of shitty.
I know there are people that are huge fans of the New Warriors.
Yeah,
I
personally,
couldn't tell you
but
shit
there are
about it,
definitely people
but
who
I
have a
enjoyed it when I was a
strong
kid.
attachment to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know just professionally that Matt Rosenberg was a huge fan of the New Warriors, so I kept using Night Thrasher.
Yeah, he was a
It's
cool
like-
fucking character.
It's like I don't know. I never, not that because I'd be a huge hypocrite if I was like I don't really care about teams of young heroes. Meanwhile, my New Teen Titans collection sitting in the corner giving me dirty looks. But,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
know.
New
With,
Teen
yeah, with
Titans
New
are
Warriors,
cool.
it was kind of like I could never. I never really saw the appeal, and maybe that's just because I hadn't read enough.
Well, was New Warriors, were they always the like reality TV show teen
No,
No,
superstars they
that
were in
was
Civil
the
War?
yeah, that was a relaunch right before Civil War. But prior to that, they were just a team of young heroes.
yep.
Oh, okay.
And then they made him dumb.
Although
they made him like world's finest
I
Teen
mean,
Titans, but worse.
I can't really remember if some of
Way
them were
worse.
like I know Speedball was not introduced in the New Warriors. It was a character that predated that. I think his first appearance was in Spider-Man or something. And then obviously Firestar, same thing. But
I forgot
think there might have been a couple like
Was Namorita in the Super Warrior or New Warriors? Or?
no, I think Namorita might have also been probably a Fantastic Four first appearance or something. But
Oh, that makes
or
sense.
maybe Submariner, I don't know. But yeah, I can't remember if there were. I feel like there had to be a couple characters that were introduced solely as like new characters to join the New Warriors, but I really don't know. I mean, maybe Night Thrasher, but the others I'm not really sure.
What about I was gonna say, was it Darkhawk is his name? But I think he was Spider-Man too, wasn't he?
Yeah. Let me see.
I don't even remember who else was
According
in
to
the New
this-
Warriors.
Justice also was not first introduced in the New Warriors, so I would think it would have to be. Oh no, I was wrong. I was like, surely Night Thrasher is a character that could only have been created for the purpose of this team, but apparently was created in Thor.
What?
is like-
Wow, that's surprising as
Yeah.
hell.
According to this, Thor number 411 from 1989.
Wow,
Yeah,
weird.
the more you know.
Wait, how? I thought New Warriors was like in the 80s. So it was
No,
around
no,
the
this is like
90s, I guess?
90s. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. It always
Early
felt like an
90s, what, like
80s idea.
93, 94? Hell, maybe even
Um,
95?
Might be a little later. Let me see.
I feel like I was like still able to buy a lot of comic books at one time, and that wouldn't have been when I was 17.
Yeah. I mean,
I had a baby.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're. Oh, okay. First series is 1990 to 1996.
Okay.
I was thinking like 1996 to 2000, but I guess
No. Yeah. All right. I was gonna say, man, because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was a mega fan or anything, but I did buy it just because it was a fun book to read.
Yeah, I mean, I could see reading it if there's like a particular character that you're attached to, like Nova or something. You know, if you were a fan of Nova and you were like, well, shit, I can't read any Nova adventures because he hasn't had a book in years. Like, guess I'll read New Warriors. I don't really care about these other people, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm just not the target audience for this book.
I mean, that's on you, man. We can't all be right.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not saying it's bad. Just the.
I mean, it's
was not
nothing
there.
stellar, honestly. It's
Yeah.
nothing stellar, but it was a fun book to read. Back then, I was a whole lot less cynical about my comic books.
I mean, this is like the kind of the crap era of the new. I guess at that point would have been the new Titans. So if I had to choose between this and New Warriors, I mean, I probably would go with the Titans out of loyalty, but I wouldn't be very happy about it. If I in the 90s.
That's hilarious. Oh boy. Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. 1990 to 1996 was a crap era for a lot of titles.
Well, that is I will defend a lot of books in the 90s, and I will say that tends to be a bit of a generalization because for every New Warriors and Justice League Task Force, you get Starman, you get Sandman, which would have been
no.
getting
I mean,
prime at that point. Like, there's a lot there.
And there was a major push of comic books. I mean, oh my God, there were when I walked into my comic book, it was my comic book shop. It was the entire my LCS, not like mine. It was attached to a bowling alley.
Huh.
And it was just one long, straight ass store, the length of the bowling alley, and the whole thing had comic books on it, dude. My parents put me to work at fucking like 7 years old, raking other people's lawns on the block. 7, and I was already like hustling and making money then, and I had to have something to spend it on, right? I bought that shit out of everything, man.
Yeah.
And then after I spent, I don't know. I started there. It didn't shut down until I was 15. I spent a lot of money there, but he used to let me buy the when I turned 14. He used to let me buy the adult ones, not like the porno ones, but like Zenoscope and shit, because they wouldn't sell those or even let little kids see those.
Oh, they have Zenoscope in the 90s?
No, books like Zenoscope. That's what I was trying to say.
Right.
Yep. They even black bagged like the swimsuit model ones and shit.
That's funny.
Not like bagged them, but like had this big long black fucking piece of plastic that sat in front of those titles. You saw the title, but you didn't see the rest of the book.
Yeah.
It was crazy. They were cool about, protecting kids, I guess, but I miss that place. There were so many comic books.
Oh man.
Felt like a second home, dude.
I'm just imagining the like layout of the place as you described it, like a bowling alley sized comic store. That's so weird.
It was probably 35 feet wide.
Uh-huh.
And then just the length of the bowling alley. It wasn't like the size of a whole nother bowling alley. Right. It was just this like shotgun of a side room that was just, I mean, imagine going in there when you're 7 years old and it's just this long fucking hallway of comic books. It's like walking into Wonka land, man.
Yeah. It's like the first time my brother's friend's dad took me to free comic book day, and we like did the rounds of all the stores in Alameda, and it was like, oh my god, this is like literally, it's like being in Candyland or something. It's like
I
everywhere I
just
go, comics as far as the eye can see. Which when you're 7 and you're not
Yeah.
that tall is a lot.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I just remembered it was my babysitter's boyfriend. He had come over, obviously when he wasn't supposed to,
Uh,
and like he talked to us about comic books, and I think it was his shop.
oh wow,
Yeah, it was his shop. Oh my
that's
God,
crazy.
I remember his ass. It was his shop, and he
Hey,
was talking to us about comic books. I can't remember what his name was, but I remember he looked like Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
So he was stoned.
No, I mean like almost literally, like shaggy red hair and like that longer chin, and I mean he had some like pockmarks and stuff, and
and a
this
talking dog.
scruffy little like stray. I don't remember him mentioning that.
Maybe that would have been too far. He's just trying to ease you into reading comic books, not joining a cult.
I mean, he seriously looked like fucking Shaggy.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That should be a like a show prompt or some kind of thing. Like, what's your first memory of being in a comic shop?
Well, play this one back for me in case I forget.
Yeah, actually, I'll write that down. It's a good prompt.
Yes, write that down.
What is
Write that down, I will.
what is your first?
Oh, he's writing it down. Sick. I can hear you typing, but you can't come in.
Just put this as like a potential comic question of the day. Sweet.
There. I hate this, but I have to wear my damn glasses. Yuck. All right. Are you guys ready to get into our first book yet?
That's good.
Yes.
All right. That first book is going to be Justice League: The Atom Project #2. Written by Ryan Parrott, I think that's how you say that, and John Ridley. Mike Perkins with colors from Adriano Lucas for the art inside and out, with lettering from Wes Abbott. To make this review faster, because it has flashbacks and goes back and forth, I'm just going to do them past and present as I usually do. First, the past, and we see that some people really fared worse. Wait a second. Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, there we go. We're in the past, and we see that I got confused, and I thought I swapped them around for a second. Some people really fared worse than others with the powers problem. Even after being stabilized, Atom Smasher looks even more. He looks like a more fucked up version of Sloth from the Goonies. Anyway, here we also find out that Captain Atom was the person that Ray tried out all of his experiments on, trying to fix all of the powers. His are missing, but Ryan and Ray have found out how to track them. They follow them to northern Quebec, go hiking through the wilderness, and find the person that has Captain Atom's powers. Turns out it's Gail Simone. No,
What
it's
a
a
riot!
giant bear.
What a jokester you
That
are.
was hilarious.
You
It's a giant
You
bear.
should start adding your own laugh tracks so that you can just like, even if Rob and I have no response because we're just like, The jokes.
It doesn't matter. The
Just
pauses.
get your own laughter, and we'll laugh at that.
That'll work. Anyway, here we also find that the Captain Adam did all of his experiment was the one that did Ray did all of his experiments on. Captain Adam's powers are missing, but Ryan and Ray found them. They're in northern Quebec. Turns out it's a giant bear, and that sucks. Ray punches the bear out, and they transfer the powers back to Captain Adam, who looks pretty damn cool on that splash page.
I agree.
Ryan and Ray, Adam's extraordinaire, are cruising in around from the microbial plane talking about Captain Adam and how they need to find him before the military does, because he may be out hunting to acquire more powers, which makes this situation even more curious. For one, they say that he can access the Speed Force. They basically say he's got a massive amount of power, which might just be normal for him, but then again, the Speed Force thing. In a secret government facility, the military are aware that he has many, many powers, and how many they do not know. All they know is that he's the world's greatest weapon. Next, we see that Captain Adam disguised himself as a soldier to track down the last remaining person that worked on his experiments that made him Captain Adam to begin with, and he wants her to take his powers away. Meanwhile, employing the quantum contingency, the military decides that it is time to go to war with Captain Adam. That's pretty much the issue. It's a normal sized book. It feels like it's 40 pages of content, but not in a bad way. Not a single panel was wasted. Everyone moved to another. It's good, and I'm hooked. I've always been a fan, mostly, of the Charlton comic characters. Captain Adam has always been
Charlton Comics. Oh my God, you're not that old. I know he made
No, I've
jokes,
read, but the ones that have come from Charlton Comics.
I know, but like that would have. Well, I'm not entirely sure when you started reading comics, but I'm gonna assume it was probably after Crisis, at the point at which they would have just been normal parts of the DC universe. I don't know. It's so funny. I've never heard anyone refer to them as the Charlton heroes. They're just like part of the DCU now, you know.
Well, I mean, I feel like calling them the Charlton Heroes tells you exactly who it is.
I guess, but like you never, when people talk about like Ted Kord, you never hear someone say, "Oh, that's my favorite Charlton hero." You're just like, no, it's my favorite DC hero. I don't know. That was like, whoa.
What an experience!
You're like, whoa. Josh is actually 100 years old. He was in his 40s reading the Charlton characters. He remembers the original ones. He's like, man,
I was 11.
The Steve Ditko era of Blue Beetle, that was the peak. Everything else, shit.
Fuck nobody. You know, Dan Jerkins, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Keith Giffen, whatever.
It's like room
Steve Ditko, hell yeah.
Oh shit, that was funny. Anyway, they're basing this story perfectly for me, and I'm very happy with the art and colors. This one gets an 8.5 out of 10 from me, anyway.
Nice. I gave this one an 8 out of 10. Definitely an improvement over last month. I think I was still like, what is the story trying to achieve, and where is it potentially going?
Well, Captain Adam was like the most powerful hero. Legitimately, he's just like the world's like the biggest fucking bomb ever, right?
He's pretty much a walking nuclear reactor.
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole question is, did he get more powers, and how much more dangerous is he?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to ascertain is yes, he definitely got more powers, but how many did he actually get? Like, which powers? You know, there's some kind of connection to the Speed Force, but what else might there be? Possibly some kind of shape changing ability, as we saw in this issue. So there's a lot going on.
Yep.
But I think I appreciated this one a little bit more because it's not necessarily trying to paint. Like I got the impression of the last issue that maybe they were going with the like that stupid Jenny Sparks plot thread of Captain Atom is turning evil, and I'm like, I'm so over that. But this one seems more like he's on the run for survival or something that we're not quite sure, but isn't necessarily sinister. So I'm like, okay, I can kind of get on board with that a little bit more. And then it definitely felt like we get to spend a little bit more time with Ryan and Ray, which I appreciated too. The costumes are still atrocious, but I can slowly start to work past it as the story picks up. So I definitely appreciated this story really kind of got things more in motion than the last issue did. And I feel like I'm definitely more interested to see where this is potentially going. And, however long this miniseries is meant to last, what will be the fallout? Will we get a Atom series? Will we get a Captain Atom series? Like, I hope that there is more in the future.
Yes.
But I think you're wishing.
I
too
know.
much,
I know.
As much as I agree, and I
Don't
want you
crush
to be
my
right.
dreams, okay?
Not of my favorite Charlton character.
Yes, not the best Charlton.
DC
No, so-
looks at the Atom and thinks he's too small.
I think you
know.
shit your
Well,
mouth.
dude, if there's a
Dirty pirate
small
hooker.
pun, very much intended. If there's a small chance of getting an Atom series, I feel like there's an even smaller chance of getting a Captain Atom series.
Yeah, I'll testify to that.
But let's face it. I think DC's whole thing going forward is no matter what, if there's an Atom book, it's got to be a miniseries.
That's true. I'll take a Captain Atom miniseries. I don't really mind. Just something.
Because he's mini.
I think
That was a failed joke. That was a failed joke.
there you go.
What would a micro series be? 2 issues?
Sure.
I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've had
miniseries
like
is
2-issue
3.
series before. I don't know if
It's a
they're
micro series and one shots.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, there was the when they were doing the Future State Initiative, they were like those 2-issue miniseries.
Yeah, but they're not miniseries, right? Because he wants to call them micro series.
That's like a miniseries.
Yeah.
3 is
Yeah, a
definitely
micro-series,
miniseries.
like you said.
That's a micro series.
Or is a micro
So you got a
series?
micro series, mini series, maxi series,
Ongoing.
and then macro series.
Okay.
No,
What
ongoing.
exactly is a maxi series? Because I have seen 12-issue limited
Yeah.
series, I've seen 12-issue mini series,
Yeah.
but every now and then you'll see the slogan 12-issue maxi series, like how they build Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck does that mean?
When I was growing up, I
12-issue
was always under the
miniseries,
impression
but
it was
important.
anything 12 or more that was limited.
Yeah.
Right? If it was built as like has a limited number of issues, then it could be considered a maxi series.
So 12 issues is not a maxi series?
When I was growing up,
Okay.
it was like 12 was like the minimum points to call it a maxi
Right.
series.
I always understood.
But I think
it
that
as,
was
like,
just like a fancy way of just saying
miniseries.
this is bigger than your typical mini series.
I guess so.
exactly.
Yeah. Because I always thought miniseries is like 6 issues, 5 issues,
3 to 6.
Yeah.
maybe 8 issues at the most, never more than 12.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah, maybe it's a whole difference of like if it hits double digits or not, and then like the term maxi series just got lost to time, and then they just started calling everything a limited series.
You know, that's
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, for some, okay, so like 6 and under, I think of as a mini series
Yeah, that
or
makes
a one
sense.
shot. And then like,
I could even say 8
Yeah.
issues.
But Superman
8.
Lost.
9 and over, it's like that's 9 to say 12.
That's not really this
Yeah.
many.
9 to 12
Yeah.
is like a limited run, and then after that is ongoing.
Yeah,
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
Superman Lost, that was 10 issues. Is that a miniseries or a maxi
Yeah.
series?
I think a maxi. Listen,
I mean-
and personally, I think a maxi series is just saying, "Hey, check this mini series out. That's fucking maximum performance." It's like Infinite
it's like
Crisis.
it's a series that's so fucking good it needs its own
I
title.
need a maxi series for my Magnum comic.
We had to get a whole brand new. This miniseries is
First
so
thing came to my
amazing,
head.
we had to invent a brand new category.
Wait, when you said like if it's a mini series, but it's maximum size, like all I could think of was
Oh,
Frank Reynolds.
Frank Reynolds.
Maximum
Right, Magnum Pop. Holy shit. Oh god.
I don't know.
And every time I hear Frank Reynolds, all I can think of is, "Can I offer you an egg in this
Can
drink?"
I
What?
offer you an egg in this trying time?
What the hell? What is that from?
It's always sunny.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. What I think is one of the funniest episodes
Yes.
ever.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That whole bit with the limo.
What the fuck does Charlie say? Oh no, he's like, I've been poisoned by my
Poisoned by my
constituents.
I just puked
Oh,
up more
God.
blood. Oh my god. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
Can
Why
I
the hell
offer
do
you an egg in this trying time?
I think the
That's
better
like
question is
fucking-
why wouldn't you have an egg?
And he
You
was
guys-
the driver.
You guys ever see Don Cheadle's The Ladies Man?
I've not. Is that a movie?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's
I
a
need to go
comedy
through
from
Don
back in the day.
Cheadle's,
Yeah, I've
But
seen like a
it's-
poster.
Oh my
for it.
god, it's a silly movie. It's one of those raunchy comedies that were popular back then. But he's got can I offer you an egg in these trying times? He's got a line in there like that. His pickup line is pardon me, but would you hold on. Pardon me, but would you let me buy you a fish sandwich?
I've heard of that line.
All right. It was just straight up. Pardon me, but would you like a fish sandwich?
Yeah. I mean,
That
hell,
was
that's
his
a
pickup
good
line.
icebreaker.
Yeah.
Because that's just like, okay, I don't like
Wow.
that question, but I need to know more.
Right?
Let's
And who
talk.
knows? They might even say yes.
Like, I'm at a bar. Where the fuck are you gonna get a fish
Yeah.
sandwich? If you
Yeah.
have it on you, I'm not interested.
Don Cheadle's a guy that, like, it's worth it if you go through his whole library.
He does comedy really well. I think, and I mean, I haven't seen it in a while. I'm sure it's offensive as fuck, but but I mean,
Probably.
it was funny back in the day.
Mhm.
I can remember that.
I
Or at
rewatched
least that fucking line. There was something about oh no, what's wrong? They were doing it in the butt. I can't
Oh,
remember
God.
why that was so funny, but the
The
context
horror.
is there. They were doing it in the butt. I'm gonna have to watch it, even if you guys don't do it. I'm gonna have to watch that shit.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you gotta rewatch it tonight.
Yeah. I got the day off tomorrow. I'll check something out. Though I was planning on watching Across the Spider-Verse or whatever the second one is, because I still haven't fucking seen it.
Oh no!
Really?
Yeah.
After all this time? That's
Yeah.
shocking.
fuck.
I never took the time to sit down and just watch it.
Oh,
No, it's great.
Yeah.
It's hard to say if it's better than Into the Spider-Verse. Like it's very close.
wait
Yeah.
until your children are old enough to be susceptible to advertising, and then you'll get it and you'll see it 70 freaking times.
I mean, I've seen Frozen 70 freaking times in the past 6
Ugh.
months. I think I can handle Spider-Verse because that's
At least
movie
there's
I
something in
like.
it for you.
Pop it
yeah.
in.
Like I enjoyed Frozen when it came out, but I wasn't like I need to watch this over and over again. Enjoyed it. Didn't stop me.
I don't think I've ever seen Frozen.
I haven't either. I haven't seen any of them. But Voltron Legendary Defender, which is not the original Voltron. It's a
Right.
new twist on
That was
it.
like the Netflix series. I only know about it because like the fan base is apparently crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like Netflix era fans.
I showed the first episode to Liam, and he sat there and watched all of it and like binged it in I want to say it was a little bit less than a week.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, he went nuts. He absolutely freaking loved it. Maybe it was 2 weeks, but uh, he was really into that, and I was like, oh man, close enough, close enough.
You gotta
And
you gotta get him hooked on Spider-Man the animated series. That was like my gateway drug back in
Yes, that
2013.
taught me so
Oh
much
man,
Spider-Man lore. Holy crap!
way past
they
like
know
obviously.
Spider-Man lore. They're huge Spider-Man into the universe fans, and they
Yeah,
Then
pisses
they
me
could
off that they made
tell you.
Miguel the character
when
that
when
he
they put
is.
that shit on Netflix, it's long since gone. But when they put that shit on Netflix, I was watching that on repeat
Yeah.
all the time.
If you really want to like give them a headache, put on the 2003 MTV Spider-Man series,
Oh my god.
No,
which took me a very long time, but I eventually found a way to enjoy it.
Really? I don't
Yes,
think I have done that yet.
is it
I
pot
think
brownies?
I,
Like lots and lots of pot
I
brownies?
think it took me years. Like
Ketamine?
when it first aired, I was like, "What the hell is this shit?" And then I don't know. Somehow we ended up with it on DVD, or my dad bought it or something, and I gave it another shot, and I'm like, "Well, shit, this is fuck. What's his name from Doogie Howser?"
Oh, Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris. So I realized that Neil Patrick Harris voices Peter Parker. I'm like, I'm just focus on that because I love Neil Patrick Harris,
Yeah.
and that actually made me enjoy it a bit more. I was able to just look past the stupidity and the weird animation and actually
That
find
that
a charm to it.
still
I'm
for
a
me is like the one hurdle I can't get over because every time I look at the animation, it's like the worst of PS2 graphics.
Yeah, the
Like
animation
PS2
was not
graphics
great.
in its heyday, pretty good,
Yeah,
but some of the worst of it, not very good.
yeah. But a lot of the characterizations and stories was actually really good later on. Like I have
That's
to
cool.
admit, like I was surprised at how decent the series actually was. If the animation looked better, maybe it would have lasted more than 13 episodes.
Damn. Who knows?
Yeah. It could have been 2004 The Batman,
Oh my god, man. We're really taking me all the way back.
right? Which I'm about to pose a
Oh,
question that you're not going to like, and I think I'm going to know your answer, and I'm going to
oh
rebuttal
no.
you. Which is better, 2004 The Batman or BTOS?
Oh god. Oh
Beatus.
god. Oh god. Oh god. No, because that's like you don't even I mean, I'm sure you
Comparing
understand
apples to
to a
oranges,
degree,
it's
but
like, yeah,
that is literally two separate eras of my childhood. Because
yeah.
Mhm.
And
BTOS
they're
is
both
like
fantastic.
they're both fantastic, but BTOS is like when I think of BTOS, I think of the VHS my grandma had in South
Right.
Carolina, and I would rewatch the same 4 episodes over and over and over. But when I think of the Batman, it's like the early days of being able to record shit on the DVR. So I had a bunch of episodes saved, and then I remember when they had the Batman versus Dracula movie,
Oh
and I
god,
was
that
like,
was actually
I
fun.
was like, I got to stay up till like 8 o'clock to watch it. I was like, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'd rather die. I don't know if I can answer that question.
I will not that I
I
want you to
I
die, but I'll allow that answer.
I
That's a hard
almost okay.
question.
To answer your question,
Yes.
I feel like maybe just purely out of nostalgia, I would have to choose the Batman 2004,
Fair enough.
but it is like so close. It is practically the same.
Yeah. So I will say designs BTOS,
Yeah,
but
it's hard to
fun, excitement, enjoyability, probably the Batman.
beat. Also, can I say
Story, both.
the voice casting on the Batman,
Oh yeah.
fucking S tier.
Like I don't know where the hell they pulled what was his name? Something Romero?
Oh yeah. Uh, wait, who? Wait, who are you talking about?
For Batman.
Oh no, it's what's his face? Reno.
Reno
Romano?
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Reno
guy who did
Romano.
the
Where
car
they
commercials.
Yeah. I heard it. I heard his voice on the Nissan commercial years later.
I
I'm
didn't
like,
even know until you
holy
pointed
shit,
that out
that's
like
the
years
Batman.
ago. And you sent the videos, and I was like, well, oh my god, it is.
Yeah.
It's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where the hell they pulled his ass out of, but he is so fucking good as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Still, like, I
What's
will
his
say
name?
Reno Romano, we think.
Is that the guy that did Deathstroke too in like almost everything?
Well, it can't have been Teen Titans because I think that was Ron Perlman. I don't know who did it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds like Ron Perlman, actually.
Yeah.
Or Ron Perlman sounded like. Because that sounds a lot like Ron Perlman now that you mention it.
No,
But yeah, they had what's his name? The guy with the really deep voice.
Dino Romano was, I think.
Oh, wait, let me see.
Maybe it's Dino.
No, Reno Romano. Apparently.
It was Reno. Oh, okay.
He's
Rino.
Canadian, huh?
Is he?
I feel like I knew
Oh,
that.
shit.
That would make sense. That
Interesting.
he did the Nissan commercials. Yeah. But I'm blanking on his name. The guy who did the voice for the Joker.
Oh, fuck.
In the Batman. He was phenomenal too.
He was.
He's like in
Utah's
everything.
voice cast, stellar.
Yeah.
Still the pinnacle, still the best. But the Batman voice cast was so fucking good.
Kevin Michael Richardson, that's his name.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit. He did it?
He's in like everything.
Yeah, he's so good. Wow, okay. Oh, never mind. No. So I go to the Batman TV series cast, 2004, or 5 seasons. I go to cast, and the first 3 names, Adam West, Alan Napier, Frank Gorshin, Mark Hamill. Like, wait a minute. This ain't right.
Wait.
No. Adam West was like the mayor. Mark Hamill played Zuko. Tom Kenny was the Penguin.
I do remember that.
I was thinking of Mark Ralston.
Because when you hear his voice, it definitely sounds like Tom Kenny, but I don't think I realized that until much later.
Ooh, Ming-Na Wen was in it. James Marsden, Patrick Warburton. Holy shit!
Oh, really?
Yeah. Chris
Who?
Hardwick, Louis Gossett Jr., Kevin Michael Richardson, Clancy Brown was Mr. Freeze.
Everyone was in this show.
Jesus Christ! What a stack! Dan Castellaneta. George Newbern,
wow,
Jerry O'Connell. Holy fuck!
Who did George Newbern play? I know they had
Good
Superman
question.
show up later, but
yeah, but it was not the same Superman.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is based on Google. It might not be accurate. I'm gonna go to IMDb and see.
The voice actor for Deathstroke I was thinking of was Mark Ralston.
Oh, okay.
All from the video games. My bad.
Okay, I don't remember this at all, but apparently Sinestro was voiced by Miguel Ferrer, that sounds awesome.
Oh,
so now I gotta watch the episode where Green Lantern shows up after this.
Okay, Mark Ralston also did the Lex Luthor voice for Young Justice.
Huh.
And George Newbern did play Superman.
And
really?
Firefly,
Interesting.
the DC animated.
Yeah.
Greg Griffin was in it too. Holy fuck. Robert Englund?
Yeah.
He was the Riddler? Jesus.
I could see that.
Frank Gorshin played Hugo Strange. Interesting. Chris Hardwick was Green Arrow. Dan Castellaneta was Scarface. Diedrich Bader was in it too? Damn.
He's in everything.
Yeah, but like, how funny is it that he was Batman some years later? Patrick Warburton played somebody named Cash Tankinson.
Huh. That's another thing too. There was a very specific era where like I was in protest of the Batman, the Brave and the Bold show because I was such a fanboy of this Batman show that I was like, I don't want to watch this new crap villain of the week team up garbage. Like give me my kids WB classic Batman stuff, and then years later, I'm like, that was such a cringe take.
This is peak. This is
This
peak.
show's awesome.
Here's something that I love and hate at the same time. Robert Patrick was in it, and he played Hawkman.
Oh, I like remember that last season was pretty much building up to the Justice League, but I don't remember too many of the voices from it, save for probably Green Lantern.
Jennifer Hale, Brendan Routh was in it.
Brendan Routh was in it.
Will Friedle was in it. Brandon Routh,
Terry McGinnis himself,
Everywhere Man / John Marlowe in one episode.
Huh.
Will Friedle played a guy called Gearhead. Allison.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, no, he was literally this like the most bizarre Batman villain ever. But as I recall, his character was like he could plug into any car and like trick it out.
Yeah,
so we can find it. Funky design too.
Oh shit! Darren Norris as well. You'd know Darren Norris from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah. Timmy's dad and Carl.
But I remember him in a live action show too, because I recognize
he was in what's that show? Ned's Declassified.
That's the one. Yeah. Wait, was he? Because I can't. Oh, I'm still in the 2016s. Never mind. But yeah, no, that's it. Dave Foley was in it. Kevin Conroy was in it, and he played John Grayson.
Huh.
Yeah. That's wild. Phil Lamar, another guy that's in fucking everything.
He's fucking everything.
He was Maxie Zeus.
But there's only one role.
Edward James Olmos? Holy shit. Mark Hamill's Tony Zuko. God damn. Robert Paulson. Maurice LaMarche. Kurt Fuller, another guy that's in everything. Chris Pratt? Get out of here.
No, that's got to be a prank.
I don't know. Apparently, one episode in 2008, he played a guy named Jake.
Oh wow!
But that's
like a bit part or something.
Well, that predates
Parks and Rec, right?
Parks and Rec, right? And that was like his big break. So
yeah, this is like maybe a year or two before Parks and Rec. I don't know when that.
Yeah,
but
I think so. Yeah.
10.
Damn. Yeah, so like stellar voice cast.
Yeah. No, still like that for me was such a standout.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a hard question for you, and I apologize for asking.
I'm so conflicted, honestly. Like I feel like it could go either way, but if I'm sticking true to like my inner child, it probably would be the Batman.
Yeah.
Because that one was like I would fucking break myself to try and make sure I could watch as many episodes as I could.
It only had 65 episodes.
It's surprisingly short. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it always felt like because I don't know how often they would do reruns, but it always felt like a rarity because I couldn't really catch it when it was on the air consistently.
Yeah.
So I would have to, usually have to like record the episodes separately if I could, find it. And then watch it later on the weekend.
Yeah.
But there was one thing that I kind of liked about the way that they'd set up the mythology with that show. And it's a minor thing, but it always kind of stuck in my head. And that's that Batgirl came before Robin.
Yeah.
So Bruce kind of had this experience with a partner before Dick Grayson came into his life and became Robin. Yeah. And I know people were kind of like, it seems all out of whack, but I don't know. I kind of liked that because like this version of Barbara Gordon was basically fulfilling that Robin role before Robin showed up.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was kind of cool.
Where they just kind of flipped the script a little bit. Instead of Batman getting used to a partner with Robin, he got used to a partner with Batgirl.
Exactly.
And end of the day, she wasn't living at the mansion. She was going to go out and do it anyway.
Yeah, like she
so
didn't
he either had to like help her or let her get herself hurt.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Like she didn't even know his identity for a good deal of time, and then gradually figured it out. But really had to earn that status of being Batman's partner because at first he's like, yeah, no, I'm not. I do not endorse you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've completely lost the plot, but I love this show. Quite a while.
Adam Project, fantastic book. I hadn't even talked about it yet. Sorry. No, very, very interesting issue. We're finally getting some more backstory with Captain Atom and how he got his powers back. But no, that was a question on my mind too. You were saying earlier, Josh, is like, how many powers does he have? Because they definitely hinted that he has more than just his nuclear powers.
Right.
That he's like collecting them, but then what's he going to do with them? Why is he
that's
collecting
the
them?
thing. I think Captain Atom, though I've seen speculation otherwise, I think Captain Atom is trying to make sure that no one, not the Justice League, not the military, nobody gets his powers.
Yes.
I think
But if he's taking somebody else's powers too, though, is he only taking like very dangerous powers or nuclear-based powers?
Perhaps.
That's the thing.
When we saw him restore his powers from Gale, I mean the bear, he kind of almost had a fire this whole damn time.
And that was a hell of a page turner to see a nuclear-powered grizzly. That's true fear. So, another question for you. Who wins? Captain Atom Grizzly Bear or Cocaine Bear?
Captain Atom Grizzly Bear?
I'm probably going to go with Captain Atom Grizzly Bear because he is
I don't know. Cocaine is a hell of a
walking
right?
nuclear reactor, but who knows? Yeah, Cocaine Bear may have him as far as speed is concerned.
Yeah.
Might get the upper hand faster.
Definitely. This Cocaine
Don't
Bear
you know
will,
it?
like, just he'll lose an arm and be like, it's a flesh wound.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come at
I'm
me.
still going.
Yeah. Fuck that. I got another hand. I'm gonna beat a motherfucker with my arm.
Yeah, I'm beating a motherfucker with a motherfucker.
But I'm going to give this 8.75 out of 10.
8.75. Brandon, what was yours again?
8 out of 10.
8. Right. Well, all 8s anyway.
What was yours?
I have one more
8.5.
thing
Right
to
on.
say about the 2004 series, and then we can move on. The next book, long awaited. I had almost forgot to mention, but just as I was like going through my memories, I remembered how fucking sick the theme song was.
Oh God,
very
it was
different from the animated series, but it was like it's one that just worked so
from
well.
U2.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and his name
Wonder it
escapes
rocks.
me. It's a single word name, but
Edge.
like Edge. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's written and
And it's
performed by
not.
Edge.
His name is actually The Edge.
The Edge.
Edge.
Yeah,
That's right.
Edge is a Canadian wrestler.
Edge is an international wrestler from Canada.
Yeah, he's from fucking Orangeville. I don't care what you say.
He's
from
Canadian.
Canada.
End of story.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I said. He just wrestles everywhere. He's been all over internationally.
That's true.
I'm
I
giving
said
him more props than you are, man. What's wrong?
I'm
with
just
that,
like,
bro?
I'm ecstatic that he was my favorite wrestler, and he literally grew up the road from me.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in his hometown.
Bob, I ever tell you that you're my favorite?
Right?
I
I mean, not so Jack Nicholson creepy, but
Yeah.
if I meet him, I'd want to shake his hand and be like, "So, how about that highway dead in there, eh? You know?"
Yeah, he does say that to Bob Blake before he kills him.
Yeah.
It's probably not a great opening line.
No, it's not. That's a quick way to get ignored. But yes, Brandon, that theme song is amazing. And that raises a whole other question that we don't need to get into, is which
Oh,
theme
God.
song is
Which
better,
is
the
the- I
Batman or
know.
BTOS?
I was thinking about that too. I was
Let's
like,
not talk about
completely. I
Be
love
that.
I
them
don't know,
both.
Josh,
for
have you heard the
completely
Batman theme
different
song?
reasons.
Nope.
It is
Or
Or
fucking
probably. When did it come out? 2004?
2004.
Definitely. My kids were watching.
There are
my kids
there
were
are
watching
two
that in
of them.
2004.
But really the best one, the most badass one in my opinion, is the one from the first season. I'll
good.
put that in the group
I
chat.
don't think I've heard the second one.
Yeah, I think that's like after season 3 or something. And it's like it's still pretty cool, but it's very different from like the guitar
listen to this
blazing
again.
one of the first season.
Yeah.
Speaking of blazing and old ass cartoons, you know what disappoints me? In the in the area that I grew up in, you know, X-Men 97 is named X-Men 97 for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I was 18,
Okay.
17 or 18. So the only way I could get my friends to sit down and watch fucking X-Men with me was if I got them blazed. Isn't that some bullshit?
That is bullshit.
That's some bullshit. How can you not enjoy this fucking cartoon guy? Come on. Douche.
Oh, so good.
I know. I still like it. Just
Good.
every time I hear this, it's like the Ben 10 theme song. It just puts the biggest fucking smile on my face, and I feel like I'm 8 years old again. It is so cathartic.
There's that. There's BTOS and Batman Beyond.
Oh man. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes, I had that saved on my Spotify.
Every
the
time I
Batman
see the
Beyond
opening
theme song.
visuals, it's like the same thing. It's like yes. Finally, I'm watching Cartoon Network again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking what I don't that's the weirdest thing. I must have seen the intro a million times and I can barely remember what any of like those title cards say where it's like corruption.
Yeah, and
fear,
greed or
like
some
that,
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like something.
But it looked so cool.
Yeah.
Josh, please tell me you watched Batman Beyond.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the title card comes up and the guitar just gets heavier somehow. Yes. When I was a kid and I found out Will Friedle voiced Terry McGinnis, for some reason in my head, I always pictured Will Friedle just like shredding the guitar. Even though I knew it couldn't have been him, but it was like I always pictured him.
You want to
like,
imagine that.
playing that. I'm like, this guy is cooler.
Does he even play guitar?
I have no clue,
don't know.
but he does in my mind. I don't care. So you grew up watching wrestling and you listen to the lyrics of the theme songs and you think the wrestlers are the ones singing them.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite ones are.
Big Show sung his theme song.
Yep. Bray Wyatt did. The Usos do.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels famously.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the dumbest fucking lyrics, but Jesus, man, it put him over, didn't it? I mean, what kind of a grown ass man walks out in assless chaps and into the music that says, "I'm a sexy boy, yeah, boy toy." I mean, it's oh my god.
Yeah. And he kept it for 30 years.
Still comes out to it to this day, and he's like, what, fucking 60?
Something like that, yeah. I thought it was really weird when he came out in like his whole born again persona that he became a little more Christian, and he was still coming out to, yeah, I'm a sexy boy. Like, but
right?
but Jesus, what are you doing?
Weird ass white costume.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was something else.
Yeah. Anywho,
you done with your blog post, Brandon?
I'm done. I wanted to see if the Batman was still streaming on Netflix because I'm definitely gonna watch that after this.
oh god, yeah. Time to binge that.
You put that back in my brain, and I was like,
telling
"Oh
you, man.
That
been
was
so
so
long.
fucking good, the Dracula movie. So, dear listeners, if y'all have never seen any of these shows, you got some cartoons watching it.
Please,
Do
please
yourself
watch
a
it.
favor, watch 2004's The Batman, and get stoned and watch 2003 Spider-Man.
Oh, jeez.
Just keep a picture of Neil Patrick Harris next to you while you're watching it. It'll work so much better.
Oh my god.
I feel like there's so many better cartoons that came out in the 90s and early 2000s to recommend than that
There
fucking
are,
Spider-Man.
but I will say if you try hard enough, you can find some niceties in that show.
Okay,
I mean,
so like
there's only,
generally
what,
speaking,
13
that's
episodes,
reckless
like you said?
optimism.
Yeah, it's only 13 episodes.
I
Okay.
suppose so, but I mean, I could imagine watching it if I was hate watching it, but that's about
I
it.
mean, if you want to hate watch stuff, there's better shows to hate watch.
Yeah,
I mean,
trust me.
worst shows to watch that is definitely a hate watch. Like it's on that weird precipice of like, yeah, this is horrible, but it's also like not that bad.
Well, speaking of people who are bad,
Oh,
things that are bad,
oh,
the Injustice Society,
great.
I would say, are
pretty bad.
pretty bad. Not
Yeah.
very good people, not very nice people.
No.
I don't like to judge people without getting to know them, but if I had to make a guess, I would say these are not very good people.
It's almost
They're the opposite of good
for
people.
injustice.
They're
It's
almost,
almost
yeah, they
injustice.
shall we kick off JSA number 4?
If we kick off in JSA number 4.
If only there was an in JSA. IJSA number 4.
IJSA, yeah.
Well, this is JSA, Justice Society of America number 4, written by Jeff Lemire with
I
art.
just had a cool
by-
idea.
What's up?
I think you guys are gonna think this is crazy, but I think James Tynion the Fourth should write a JSA Black, which is like a Black Ops team, and it's like a horror book.
I thought you were going to do JSA Dark, like a Justice Society magic team.
Kind of. I mean, they go into. I mean, in that they go into like magic. And then in this, it's more like a horror book where he's kind of like an all-star. You know what I mean? And I think he could pick some pretty cool members associated with the JSA that he'd be able to pull that off with. There's a number that would work.
Yeah.
What
Alan
about,
Scott, Dr. Fate, Jakeem Thunder, Obsidian, just to name a
Sandman.
few. Sandman.
Yeah. What about like JSA Eldritch or something? Like it's a JSA team
Oh,
made up of
Ooh.
all the monsters from the Golden Age. I don't know how many there would be, but obviously you could have Grundy and maybe Gentleman Ghost and other people too.
Oh, shit.
Can't have Hawkman on there if you have Gentleman Ghost.
That's fine.
Yeah. Or maybe you can, and they just fight with each other the whole time. And that's
And
sorts of
wait.
comedy.
Who was it that drew Arkham City Order of the World?
Danny.
Get Danny.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Oh, maybe you could have Frankenstein. He has no connection to the Justice Society, but he's
Hell, who
old.
cares? Yeah.
That works. He's old.
He's old.
Right?
He's old.
Yeah, if it's a
He
classic,
fought in
story,
World
we
War
couldn't
II,
include
according
him.
to Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. So
Yeah.
it works, kind of.
I think, yeah, I feel like you could work it in like he left Shade and has joined this team or was reached out and asked to join the team.
I was thinking more
Definitely.
like when he was with Shade as an agent during World War II, he had a couple of unseen team ups with maybe the JSA or the All-Star Squadron, whichever you prefer, and kind of got like honorary status, you know.
A
And then
sequel
it's
to
like,
the Green Lantern Alan Scott book, and it introduces him as it furthers the introduction to the other members of the Justice Society and his teaming up with them.
yeah.
That
And actually, there's Actually, now that I think about it, there's more you could do because you could have Grundy. We're never getting this fucking book, but there's
An
Grundy.
hour and 20
there's
minutes.
Frankenstein,
We started the last one a half an
and
hour in.
as we've established in previous runs of Swamp Thing, there have been many avatars of the Green in the past. So maybe
Yeah.
you could have one of those previous avatars be a part of this, older team or something. Or if it's set in the modern day, it could be a new team. Otherwise,
You could even
It's
tie
to
it
be an
into
avatar.
like
I mean, the Parliament's been around forever.
yeah,
tie it into that weird New 52 Earth 2 book and like have Alan
Yeah.
Scott be the avatar for like a story.
Oh, shit.
that would be freaky, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something there.
Right? And then
Okay.
that would lend
Swamp
credence
Thing has
to
always
Rob
been
D's
like this.
Green Swamp Thing run where he was a Green Lantern for a fight.
Yeah,
Right? He'd be
Oh,
like,
actually,
I have
really
felt
cool.
this power before.
yeah, that would be a
Right?
cool connection.
You know?
I was once a Green Lantern, or I
Yeah.
once shared powers with he who was connected to
Yeah.
the emotional spectrum. Even though I'm not
Yeah,
gonna go into that, but I don't like
loosely.
that origin for Alan Scott. Anyway, okay, JSA number 4,
Let's go.
written by Jeffus Lemiris, art by Joey Vasquez, colors by Luis Guerrero, and letters from Steve Wands with a pretty sick looking cover from Cully Hamner. This should be a pretty quick review.
But just before you get into that, I need to ask about this cover. What is it you guys see surrounding Dr. Midnight there? Because every time I look at Grundy, I want to say it's his hands, but then I look at them, I'm like, that's not hands. What the fuck is that?
I thought it was like the negative space, like
Yeah,
the weird
the
like little tatters are
darkness.
part of his shirt.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I see it now. So I was looking at it from the wrong perspective.
Oh,
There's-
okay.
Yeah, he's
You
like
think those are like
outline.
hands or something?
I was seeing like the negative space as like the solid object as opposed to the opposite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
He was
I had a
seeing it
different
like
perspective.
this instead of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, shit. Now that I see it, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I
Yeah.
was looking at. Thank you, because that was driving
those
me
would be
nuts.
some funky looking hands.
Yeah. Shit. All right. Thank you.
Anyway, this issue focuses primarily on Beth Chapel, who is in the clutches of the Injustice Society, being watched over by Solomon Grundy, though she's able to escape pretty quickly and eavesdrops on a meeting of the Injustice Society as they are continuing to discuss their plans to seize the Tower of Fate and hopefully get control over Dr. Fate's helm, but of course they're not having much success there. Grundy, as well as Gentleman Ghost, who we were literally just talking about in our Black Justice League Eldritch book, are sent off back to another level of hell to work with the Brothers 3 and basically just kind of keep work there. Find Hawkman and keep watch there as well. Meanwhile, we cut to Todd Rice, aka Obsidian, who is in this very weird kind of hospital-looking thing where he keeps getting drugged up and is completely lost all sense of his own identity and time and everything else. But gradually, through sheer force of will, is able to connect with the darkness again, remember that he's Obsidian, and seemingly start to escape from his prison, although he manages to find Jakeem Thunder. So we're wondering what the hell is going on, because of course we know Jakeem is still in his coma, at least as far as the last issue, considering Dr. Midnight was checking up on him. And that's when we see that Dr. Midnight has made it to some kind of strange reactor, but also notices another door that has a familiar sound. And she notices breathing under it, and that's when she finds out that Todd is seemingly plugged up to some kind of machine that very much is probably keeping him in this illusion that we saw in the previous segment with the hospital and Jakeem and everything. But as Beth is trying to free Obsidian and hopefully bring him back to consciousness, she is overwhelmed by that is Savage Scandal, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
who gets the upper hand on Beth, and seemingly has her in a deadlock, informing her that there's no more justice in the world and that soon everyone will know sorrow. And that's where this issue comes to an end. Hell of a cliffhanger. Who knows what's going to happen next with Dr. Fate and also Dr. Midnight and also the rest of the JSA. Love that. I mean, I know pacing has been to some kind of a problem with this story, just because there's so much kind of going on. But I really appreciate that. Like, I've been enjoying the different perspectives of the JSA, where we have Infinity Inc. part of the JSA on one end of things, and then the kind of old school JSA in the underworld right now. But I appreciate that this one is like, okay, we're going to just kind of slow down, focus in on one member of the JSA, that being Beth Chapel, while also kind of furthering the story. And I imagine they'll probably have other issues like this in the future, but really letting one particular character, and Obsidian too, kind of shine in this issue was really nice to see. So I gave this one an 8.5 out of 10. The art was pretty solid. I mean, I've only ever seen Joey Vasquez do stuff at Marvel, so it was kind of nice seeing him do some stuff at DC. And I really liked his kind of rendering of some of the characters. So good stuff all around.
It's like I don't know how old of a storytelling device, but the earliest connections I have to it is like with Power Rangers. It was definitely a team series, but each episode had a different focus. Like, okay, this is definitely a Red Ranger episode, this is a Yellow Ranger episode, etc. Like, this story is going to follow this character with the rest of the team around it, and that kind of storytelling is definitely what Jeff Lemire feels like he's doing right now. Is like, you got this overall story, but like you said, like, this is a Beth Chapel story. 2 issues ago was a Jade story.
Only Ranger we should care about is Jason. Fuck the rest.
Zach,
I'm also kidding.
And Billy
and
Trini.
Nah, I don't care about them.
Oh,
lame.
Billy.
Just Jason.
Just Jason.
Does it kill you to know that it turns out the actor ended up being a total dickwad?
See, why did you have to go and ruin it for me?
I'm sorry. It hurt the rest of us, but yeah.
Oh, Jason.
That is disappointing to hear.
He got arrested a couple times.
Jeez.
Oops.
And yet, somehow, he's still getting invited to conventions, and he now has a podcast with Walter Jones.
Yay.
Yeah, that is disappointing.
Which makes me think that maybe he's not, like, all bad. It's just, I don't know. I can't remember what the allegations were at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that depressing note, what did you think of JSA number 4?
It was a very, very, very good issue. I'm loving the run so far still. Excuse me. And the story's progressing. Yeah, a little slower, but it is only issue 4. We're still getting some plot developments here and there. Like, it's not like the whole thing is at a standstill. It's just progressing in its own pace, which I can appreciate, right? Like, if this was a 10-issue run, it might be a little slow, but this is story arc number 1. And I imagine, like, this whole Injustice thing might be a long breathing story if Jeff Lemire is to be understood, right? It's the story arc 1 of JSA versus IJSA. Is what I'm gathering. I could be wrong. We'll have to see. I just don't imagine, like, you'd open with the Injustice Society in your first story arc, and they're only going to last 6 issues. That would feel really weird, especially with the Injustice Society they have built right now. There's some heavy hitters in there and some, like, deeply involved storyline characters, like Ruby Sokov.
Yeah, and there's still some kind of character drama they haven't really resolved there. Since Ruby was part of the JSA, but is now defected, and clearly there's some tension over that. Yeah.
And, like, I'm dying since her inception, I've been waiting to see Jade and Ruby fight it out. Just like, please. Did you know our dads were lovers? What? You know, I need that to happen.
It's not like he's a very good dad anymore, so it's probably just like, I'm not surprised. Alan's too in his own world to care that he had kids anyway.
Yeah. I don't even remember what his name is now.
Oh, well, hell, why am I not? Oh, there it is. Shit, I was ignoring Russell in chat. My bad.
Oh, I was doing that on
What's his
purpose.
face?
Oh.
I'm joking.
Some
I'm joking.
Johnny Ladd. I don't remember what his Russian name was.
Yeah, I don't remember his Russian name, but probably Dimitri.
That's
They're all
so
named
sad.
Dimitri.
Or
Not all
Vladimir.
Russians, all like the big
No,
Russian.
you meant all Russians.
Every
Russians are
single
named
Every
fucking
Russian.
one.
Like all
Yeah.
the main big Russian villains seem to be named Dimitri if they're not Anatoly.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Heroes can be Petrovic.
yeah, or Victor,
Piotr.
Yes.
Piotr.
Piotr. What the fuck was I talking about? Right, JSA. Very interesting. I honestly, where was Beth to begin with? Was she at the Brownstone or was she in hell?
She was in the Brownstone.
Oh, okay, so I don't remember how she got captured. That I forgot to go back and look.
Yeah, someone
That
grabbed
issue.
her in the. Oh no, it was the fake Obsidian. Might have been Shadow Thief posing as Obsidian. who found her in the
Right.
Last issue.
Right. Okay. It was just really cool to see Doctor Midnight be in the field and be a hero, and not just relegated to this hero needs medical attention. Call Dr. Midnight, right? Which is basically whichever Dr. Midnight it is. That's
Yeah.
the role
Like
for the
he's usually
past
just giving,
30
like,
fucking
the
years.
diagnosis, basically.
Yeah, that he's the only actual doctor we have. So it was really nice to see a Dr. Midnight in the field doing hero work and like using their wits, especially with like
It reminded me that
I got
she's blind.
this person. Yeah, I wasn't sure that Beth was actually blind. I knew the OG
like,
Midnight was, but
pretty much all of them are blind. I can't remember if Peter Cross was blind. I think he was too.
I think he
I guess
was.
that's the stipulation for being Dr. Midnight.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Is it like, you're the new Dr. Midnight, now give me your eyes?
Or I guess, hey, you're blind. Want to be Dr. Midnight?
Yeah, you want to be a superhero and fight monsters?
All right. Well, Daredevil was already
no.
taken, so sure.
I
Like,
can't
you want to
fucking
control
see.
darkness. You want somebody who can't see nothing but total darkness.
Yeah. But no, it was really cool to see, especially with the various panels of her showing off tricks she learned from all the different heroes over the years was really cool. With that in mind, and the progression we got from the little side plot with Obsidian and Shaquem, which really just raised more questions, but it gave us something. I'm gonna give this an 8.5.
Nice. So one thing I couldn't figure out was why Jakeem kept saying "so cool" when he couldn't
That's
summon
his
Johnny. Yeah, but I mean, he said it after not being able to summon Thunderbolt. That doesn't seem appropriate. I'm just saying. I feel like it went by really quick, and I feel like a lot happened. It felt a little light. There's a lot more setup, a lot more mystery, more questions. I'm looking forward to next month, and the art is great as always. I'll give it a 7.75 out of 10.
Fair enough. Fair enough indeed.
Wow. The start time for this book is so much later than the start time from the first book.
What a surprise.
Yeah. Is that everybody?
That's everybody.
That's it. All right. So our next book
Shazam, Shazam, Shazam.
Shazam.
Yep. But don't say too
Uh,
much; you might turn into a kid. Spoilers.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the issue that I saw a lot of people. I forgot this issue was coming, but when it was announced, I saw a lot of people in the comments section on League of Comic Geeks complaining about it.
Yep.
3 months ago when it was first solicited. But this is Shazam number 20 and the Misadventures of Superman John Kent. We open on a regular day in Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, with just regular, seemingly mundane day where weird things are happening, such as the odd chance that Mr. Dinosaur happens to drop a magical cage and releases a djinn that escapes into the real world, and this djinn is super freaking powerful. So Billy chases after it. It turns into Shazam. I mean, not says Shazam, turns into the captain. But a stray lightning bolt hits a mirror and goes out into the real world as none other than John Kent is flying over Philadelphia at the exact same time and gets hit by this lightning bolt. The captain takes on the djinn and seemingly takes her out, but with the help of John Kent, who is now de-aged back to 10 years old as he was before Bendis came along.
So,
And
you know what
that's
this
how
little
I'm going to
kid
describe
needs?
it.
1,000 years of torture inside a volcano.
Yes.
Was it really 1,000 years?
I was like 10 or something.
But even
Enough so that he
still,
could become a teenager. But yeah.
but like,
Yeah,
he
but
went from
wasn't
10
it
years old
something
to
like
17.
1,000 years crammed into a short amount of time? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember now. I just remember it was stupid as fuck.
Yep. Like everything else Bendis did at DC. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So with the help of John, they take down the djinn, or so he thinks.
want to
Mary
prove me wrong.
arrives a
Like I
little
said
bit
about
too
that.
late, and then they decide they gotta help John revert back to his normal self because this ain't right. But while talking about it, Billy, or the captain, with Billy, realizes that John had his childhood ripped away from him. So maybe just for the day, they'll give him some childhood, right? He's got this opportunity. Why not use it? So they do just that. They go to a carnival, they go to an arcade, play some golf. I guess that's a kid thing. I don't know. But
It's mini golf. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. There's some real golfers in the background. They even have a good old fashioned sleepover with the whole family, and it's a fun day for John. But the next morning happens. Jay is trying to get a hold of him. He can't let Jay see him like that, being 10 years old, because that's going to freak Jay out. The one person he does want to show off that he's a kid again, the one person he can trust, none other than Damian Wayne, his best friend. To which Damian says, "You're dumb. This is dumb. You're stupid. Just go fix it." Right?
We're not
Right.
kids anymore. Flies off
Exactly.
into the
We're
night.
not kids anymore. Yeah. But the whole time, though, we find out that Billy thinks Damien is the coolest Robin.
Yes.
That was surprising to hear. Well, actually, wait, no, that would make sense because isn't there that issue of Batman and Robin where they team up with Shazam? I gotta find
Oh
that again.
shit! I
Oh,
think
maybe.
so.
I
Yeah.
just thought about that. I was like, oh yeah, they have that
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah. That makes sense now. But the whole time, he's like, "Don't be weird. Don't be weird." Okay, I'm going to get a selfie.
Mhm.
He's like, "Damn it, they're gone." So yeah, Robin Damien does give me idea to like retrace the steps, maybe like skipped over something or like, try it again, and they end up going, back to the Rock Paternity, talking to Mr. Dinosaur to try and figure out what's going on. And they get the idea to recreate the steps, which Mr. Diners was like, "I told you that probably would have happened," and Billy's like, "Well, I told you we zapped the fairy and killed it, so we can't do that." And then Mr. Dinosaur says, well, if you told me that, I would have told you the fairy can't be killed. So that fairy's still out there.
Jin.
Go deal with it. Oh no, Jin. Yeah, no, but like Billy. Sorry, Billy called it a fairy bug thing. Sorry, that's where I got that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's where I got fairy from. So they go back out and take on the Jin yet again, who is now causing more ruckus. But instead of taking it down, they capture it in the cage yet again and then take it back to the Rock Fraternity, get in front of the mirror. Billy calls out Shazam, and the mirror shatters. And there goes any hope they have. So now they are back to square one. John is still stuck as a kid, and well, now he has a heart-to-heart with the captain about how he's just stressed. His life is changing at a rapid pace, and he's just needed a break. There was no coincidence that he was flying over from Philadelphia. He just decided to take the long way home and do some soul searching for the time being, and then ended up getting zapped by a stray lightning bolt. Not his fault, right? He just needed to like chill out for a bit. But he realizes that he does need to confront Jay, tell him what happened, because growing up with him is one of the best parts of his life. So they go and confront Jay, and Jay is like, would you believe me if I said this was on my bingo card for the year? Which I thought was nice. That was a little funny thing. And then Jay eventually has the idea of, why didn't you just try and say Shazam?
Oh.
To which nobody thought of that. So John says Shazam, and he reverts back to his grown-up self. And everybody is happy at the end. To which Jay then says to John later on, when they have a little pillow fort, because John got to spend the day as a kid, and he realized that sometimes spending the day as a kid is a nice little touch. Don't chase Shazam ever again, because you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, fun little side story, I think, is just a nice little break from the ongoing Shazam craziness to just have a little bit of regular craziness, I would say. My one gripe is that we didn't get to see Freddy as the command. What's his name now?
Commander.
Is it still Commander? They didn't change it?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get to see Freddy show up as the commander or anything. It would have been even just to see him in the background, because they just had a whole big story of him getting his powers back. Would have been nice to see him, Mary, and Billy all doing the whole Shazam thing together, instead of just Billy and Mary like we had for the past little while. But apart from that, like I really enjoyed the issue. I thought the art was a little odd at times, but still kind of charming at the same time. Fun little side adventure. Mr. Dinosaur is hilarious. Taki Tani had to do all the chores. That's no surprise.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to complain about, but if it's not your cup of tea, I completely understand that too. Because if you're looking for just like no side stories, no Monster of the Week stuff, no quote unquote filler issues, I get that. But this is a fun little filler issue, I would say. I liked it. So this is a 8.75 for me.
Yeah, I gave this one 8.25. Like, it is just a fun side story. It really feels more like a John Kent story.
It really does. I had to like go back to the creator team and make sure it wasn't written by Tom Taylor.
Yeah. Because it really felt like the focus was on him, and Billy was just kind of there as support, which is nice. But yeah, this easily could have been just like John Kent Superman special #1, and it would have felt the same. But for what it is, it's fun. And I mean, I will not sit here and say that there wasn't a small part of me that was like, maybe we could get more adventures with the young John, but unfortunately, this issue is like very definitively saying no, that era is over and you can't go back. So while that does make me kind of sad, it is what it is. But yeah, it's nice having this fun little side story. Nice seeing John get to be a kid again, at least for how little it lasted. Yeah, I don't know. It just is fun. Not really too much to it. hopefully we get more stuff with John in the future.
And I forgot. It's my first book in a week, and I completely fucked up. I didn't do the credits. I'll just do those real quick. This is written by Sina Grace, with pencils from Dan McDade, inks from Roberto Poggi, colors from Trish Mulvihill and Matt Hermsen, letters from Troy Pateri, with the cover from Gleb Melnikov.
Yes. So you guys will hate what I have to say, but I'm glad that Damien had that attitude that he did. He wasn't sitting there calling John stupid and all that. He was saying the idea of them hanging out as kids again was stupid, and he took off. They've grown a bunch since then. They don't need to go back. Jay says complicated work in the book, WERK, and I don't know if it's like just spelled wrong, spelled the original way for some reason, or if that's just some slang I'm not aware of. Other than that,
Who said that?
Jay.
Oh, I think that I took it as just like a weird slang way of saying it.
Yeah.
Okay, the original way to spell it is that way.
Yeah, but Jay is like 18.
Yeah. Not 1018.
No.
Other than that, this was like an okay one-off silly Shazam story, and the art was pretty decent. I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10. It was a fun little story.
Right on. Yeah, it did pain me to see it the same way. Like I saw, I get what you're saying, and I agree. Like I read it the same way with Damien. Like it's like we're not kids anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean, essentially, it was grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which is true. I mean, it has been like
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been like what 6, almost 7 years since all that aging up stuff started. So it has been a while.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Damien's gotten used to an aged up John.
Yeah.
And it's not so easy. He's gone through a lot of growing up in the past couple of years in continuity for himself. Older. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not easy for him to just like, my best friend is now 10 years old again. I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Like
Super Sons was pre the whole like locking up people and Teen Titans and Lazarus Island and Alfred, and like so much has happened. Like you said, just, you can't go back, which is sad, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. It is a damn shame. But
a damn shame.
So much opportunity.
I know.
Agreed.
A
lot of missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do another one of those Super Sons maxi series in the future.
Maximum performance.
That was the beauty of one of the stories. It might have been the last one where it ended with like Damien and John as like old men reading stories of the Super Sons to their grandkids. And there was like a whole library of Super Sons stories. And like, they went on so many adventures as children. And it's like, we could just tell one at any time.
Good.
Right?
There's still so much there if anyone ever wants to do it.
Hell yeah.
But it has to be Tomasi. I don't care.
Yeah.
Tomasi's got the perfect tone for it.
It's like the only one I've seen do a Super Son story. Save for like maybe, I don't know, fucking Jeremy Adams and that
Ridley Pearson.
Flash. I didn't read those, so I don't even know what that's
those.
about.
They're horrible and don't. It was racist.
I did not plan to.
Oh yeah. I was like, who the fuck is Ridley Pearson? Like, I forgot about that YA book. Was it called Super Sons?
I think so.
And yet there was a female member of the team.
And Damien was drawn with blonde hair and looking white as hell, and he wanted to go by Ian.
What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck that. I was so disappointed because I got that for my kids, and it was like, nope. They didn't like it either. I was like, you got good taste.
Yeah. Raise
All
them.
Right.
all right, guys. Let's talk about the comic book that's got more green than your local cannabis dispensary. It is
Oh.
Poison Ivy number 30.
What a transition.
Yeah.
Written by G. Willow Wilson with art and colors from Marcio Takara and Arif Prianto, lettering by Hassan Asmani El Hao, and a beautiful cover, again, 30 times in a row, from Jessica Fong. Ivy's on the
Yeah,
mend after her,
30 issues of covers. That's wild.
right? Hell of a contract, man.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if Wilson I mean, because it's such a unique different art styles. Even when there's guest artists taken
Yeah.
taken up for Takara, there's such this like that conflicting look between the cover and the art that's on the inside, but it also works together. I don't know. I'm getting artsy on it, but it's the art and the story is just been. Mwah.
They could do a whole other Poison Ivy uncovered issue where it's just covers from this run.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh
awesome.
my god, yeah, they
And
could
that
do
would
a
be
mega book.
fantastic.
See,
Yeah.
You know, without the text on it.
Yep,
Call it a maxi issue.
Poison Ivy Virgin Omnibus.
I'm
Nothing
not going to say
virginal
what I'm
about
thinking
Poison
about
Ivy.
right now.
Okay,
You say Poison Ivy
That's
and
what-
Virgin in the same sentence, just,
oh Jesus.
yeah.
I was about to go there. I was like, no.
He
No.
said, "I know."
It's too cheap.
Yeah.
That is the beautiful cover that I was talking about. Oh, and she right there is on the mend after her run-in with the gardener. She took off into the forest because of those plant hounds, and they spit acid and had acid in their mouth when they bit her. So she's dealing with that. She's running away to get away, rest, collapse against a tree, and heal. Then she starts contemplating as she heals what unknown things may have happened to her body when the Green resurrected her, because there was nobody to ask any questions to. She abruptly sits up and gets scared shitless. It's the Shepherd of the Gray again, and he's like, really scary kaiju big. She's stunned for just a moment, and then she runs like hell. She trips. He picks her up, and pulls her like right up to his face, and then just stares. He's there to talk, but the mists are closing soon, so they're running out of time. His name is Xylon, and he was, quote, made by the Gray before living things had mouths. So, like a long time. Through contact, he visually shares his message because he needs her help. There is no other living creature anywhere on Earth that can even so much as hear, let alone help. There is only Xylon. Seriously though, no avatar, not even a parliament for the Gray. Xylon senses the impending doom that one of the Parliament of the Green members, I forget which one, warned about. I think it was Jack. Anyway, she needs to help. She needs to help the whole world by brokering a peace treaty between the Gray and the Green. He tells her that the swamp that she saved, the one that hides the mystery town called Marshview, that it will help her. That's why she can travel through it so fast. And it will do more for her if she can save the town itself, with whatever that will entail. Continuing to walk, she runs into Janet in the midst. They hug, and then the end is the middle is the end. The panels flip completely upside down. Turn the page, and we're at another cover. Say, what now? The second half of the book is the start of a meanwhile. So officially, it will always be one more cover than the issue now. Just keep that in mind. She's got 31 covers for Poison Ivy done. Oh, and wait. And then you got to start counting variant covers. Never mind. Anyway,
Maybe.
The second half of the book is this. Second half of the book is basically the start of a meanwhile. So we know what's going on with Janet and Croc, the other half of this story that kind of gets left in the dirt. And I really appreciate that. So they're waking up in the morning. That's what they're doing. And Janet is taken off to the library in Marshview to do research on the town itself. That's where she finds out that the entire population deserted the town on the same day, April 7th, 1958. Leaving the library, she sees eyes on the wall and runs screaming. It's the monster. She runs into the forest and gets lost in the mist. That's when the bog of the Parliament of the Green shows up. They hear Janet bitching about Poison Ivy and try to recruit her, saying that she needs to betray Ivy and hands her an acorn. Uh, um, when Ivy talks about the Parliament of the Green, Janet is supposed to repeat it into the acorn. That's nuts.
Swinging us.
That's tree nuts.
So she denounces betraying Ivy out loud, but she didn't drop the acorn. No, the middle is the end is the middle, and we are done. So, wow, that was a whole lot. But Ivy is in the biggest situation of her life right now, and maybe ever. And whatever happens here could have repercussions all over, potentially. I've loved this book since day one, and now this is my favorite issue of the book. The whole meanwhile flip, I thought that was cool as hell, giving it its own cover and everything. I loved it. I loved the story, both of them. Loved the art. As always, this was stellar. 9 out of 10.
I can 100% agree. Flip book issues can be hit or miss, but this one I think was done really well.
But it's not really a flip book issue, though. It was just those, like, what, 2 panels both times? They turned upside down?
Well, when you have the physical book, like it literally flips up. So, like you read it.
It's like
you
like
flip
recently with DC All In. It's the same thing where it's like
Oh,
one story,
gotcha.
flip it over, other story. They both mean the middle.
yeah, and that's why that last page is when you read it digitally, it's just upside down.
Yeah,
But that's cool, because the top part of it is right side up, and then the bottom is upside down. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah,
but the sensation of like
that comes with the flip book side of it.
The sensation of like you have it in your hands and you finish the first story and you flip it over. It's really fun.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for that stuff.
Yeah, it was really well done. Like the DC All In flip book was really cool too, and how like both stories ended with the same splash page at the end was interesting. I'm trying to remember how many other flip books. I know they had that Green Lantern, Red Lantern flip book issue. That one was kind of weird.
Was that the one with Supergirl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was issue 28 of both series. But that one was weird because it was 2 books in one.
Yeah.
Right. At least this is like the one issue and it's a flip book and like it works. With the 2 stories meeting in the middle, it's very artistically sound, I think, and the covers being like almost mirror images of each other as well is really fucking cool. It's just the art style alone, the artistic integrity between the story and the art, the amalgamation of it all with this book, 30 fucking issues. This holy Jesus!
I forgot to get the other cover.
It's all right. Just readers, if you're curious what it looks like and you don't want to go on League of Comic Geeks, it's this, but Janet and Ivy are reversed. Yeah, basically. No, the story is progressing. I did not see Janet being a spy for the Green, but giving her side character status, it makes sense that she wants more out of her story. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting going forward. This whole thing with the parliaments has got me even more hooked than I was before. And it's crazy just how much Wilson has been able to grow this story from a simple Poison Ivy wants to kill the planet. Right? It's
Poison Ivy
insane.
from Poison Ivy dying. This was supposed
Yeah,
to be a 6-issue series about the death of Poison Ivy.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
That's-
it just grew
like
like a
crazy
plant.
amount.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ridiculously.
yeah. So
And it's worth it.
it very much
Non-stop
is.
worth
It's
it.
to this day, to this
There we
month.
go.
Oh, there you go. There's the other image. Hell yeah, it's really cool. Wait, do they like connect? Is that like one big image, or am I?
Whoops.
It
might.
might.
I went too far.
Yeah.
No, see, she's like laying down it like almost literally is an exact mirror image.
Wrong way.
Yep, I knew that.
Alright.
See,
But I'm looking at the trees though.
oh, maybe.
Yeah. And then the shoulders
Interesting.
of the background images of Janet and Poison Ivy, the shoulders would connect maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The spaces in between make sense too.
Yeah.
Ah,
I want a poster of
Interesting.
that.
that would be dope.
Dope. Anyway.
I said
Um,
the first copycat. Okay.
Back you. The hell was I saying before that?
Who knows? Nobody was listening.
Wow.
Wow.
So the parliaments are cool. The artistic integrity. Janet's side character. Yeah, shit. Now I lost my train of thought.
Oh no.
Fuck. I was saying something. It was a new point that popped into my head. Now I don't remember what the fuck it was. Shit. I don't know. It's a fantastic book. It's grown so much. 30 issues is a hell of a right. That's what it was. Yeah, it's just like this. It's become to this day, to this month, still one of, if not the best book DC is pumping out consistently.
Every
Definitely
issue
one of
was
the most
awesome.
consistent.
Yeah.
Just-
It's
30 issues.
consistently good
Perfect.
for 30 fucking issues. That is a hell of a record.
It is
and
a
for
book of
like
2 years.
and just I mean, it being at issue 30, it feels like it just dawned on me. One, the fact that the book is still here is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, two,
2.5
this is a-
years.
yeah, this is a Poison Ivy book. Like
Right?
never in a million years would I have thought to, hedge my bets on the survival of a Poison Ivy book. Who
Yeah.
pretty much would only ever get a miniseries if she was lucky.
She was lucky to get a miniseries and then became even more lucky to get a maxi series. And then even
I
luckier.
I mean, they were
to get a
just going to
full-
rub her
Full
out.
series.
She was going to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Not even
know,
like, oh, we'll let
thought
it go.
the
this
book was
year.
good.
Bye.
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Like, if we didn't have her die, what else could we do? Because you're selling a lot of books.
Yeah.
I hope this book makes it to 50 at least.
That'd be
For
wild.
sure. Oh, man, that'd be awesome.
And if it finishes at 50, I ain't even gonna be mad.
No.
You know,
50 issues
quit
of Poison
while
Ivy,
you're
you kidding
ahead.
me?
Like that's a good run.
Yeah.
Tell you
Yeah.
what, guys.
That's the same length as Immortal Hulk.
Listen,
Yeah.
DC Comics. If you take this to a minimum of issue number 51, I'm okay with 51 just being a date issue.
Didn't they have a
I'm
date
sure
issue?
you would. You kind of did.
Kind of, but
Yeah.
not fully, no.
It was a date issue with Harley getting really fucking high.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything got tripping.
Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna
You
give
saw
this
some things.
honestly, and I'm debating if I want to give it a little higher, but right now, oh, it's killing me. I want to say 9.25, but like there's something in the back of my mind that's screaming 9.5. I'm trying to think if there's a reason to dock at a quarter point, but just like both feel right. I don't know. Yeah, no, fuck it, 9.5. Shit.
There
Yeah,
is,
go for it.
there is only Xylon.
No, there's not. There's also Zool.
Not of the gray.
You don't know where he's from.
I mean, it says it in the movie.
And where is it from?
I don't know. You'll have to look that up. But
Maybe
I
he's
do
from
know
the
it says
gray.
it in the-
Yeah.
He's not from the kingdom of the mushrooms.
You
They
don't
never
know that.
explicitly say he's not.
Yeah,
You don't know.
he does look like a fever trip.
No, it's Xylon, and then on the other side that
Is Zool.
Xylon's unaware of, where there's this little bubble, is Mario. But
He's only trapped in the bubble
That's
because
it.
Yoshi hasn't freed him yet.
yeah, it's to protect them.
Yeah.
Because the gray has been reduced to nothing but a parasite, as Poison Ivy tells us in the book.
And Zool has taken over.
There is no Zool. There is only Xylon. Xylon sounds like a very bad sci-fi space show character.
Yeah.
Like the robot. Or maybe
Like
like
Cylon.
a race of people. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's
Yeah,
Cylon. That's
Battlestar.
that's why I love this. Okay. That's why I fucking love this name. Understood.
I honestly would not even be mad if Xylon showed up next and he just had like a laser eye. Yeah.
Awesome.
Which, like, it's a small little sidetrack. Is there a connection or like a cross reference between Battlestar Galactica and Knight Rider, and why Kit and the
What?
Cylons both had the same laser eye?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. That was always on my mind. I thought there's got to be like, did they have the same designer or some shit? Like, is Kit
If I'm
a
not
precursor to
mistaken,
the
there's
Xylons?
if I'm not mistaken, there's a connection between Battlestar Galactica and the movie Caprica. But that's it.
I don't know. I still need to see the episode of Knight Rider where they
Hello, Michael.
the car turns into a school teacher.
Yes. I don't know if you guys remember it, but about a year ago, I did a full rewatch of Knight Rider. I loved that shit as a kid.
Yeah.
Yep. I even went and got to at the Detroit Auto Show. The real Kit was there. I had my picture taken with him when I was a kid. Right?
Was Hasselhoff inside?
No. No.
That sucks.
Nope. It was the car, and it was like the car, and it was the voice of Kit. I forget what his name is, but it was that guy.
Mr. Feeney.
Yes. And he was signing autographs. Yep, Mr. Feeney. That's
He was actually there?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
him
so
in the car.
cool.
No Hasselhoff. Nobody wanted to hassle the Hoff. But
I mean, you never hassle the Hoff.
Kit and Feeney were there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
I would have loved to have his autograph.
I wonder if I got it. I'm sure I did. I got my picture taken with him. I'm sure I got an autograph.
Dope.
Right?
Was this post Boy Meets World or pre Boy Meets World?
It had to have been pre. I mean, when Kit was showing up at the auto show, I was young as hell. Yeah, so it was definitely pre Boy Meets World. My bad. What's that?
Yeah. I imagine Kit is still showing up at auto shows.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, the 66 Batmobile was at Fan Expo like 10 years ago.
Batman is selling a lot of shit. Knight Rider isn't selling shit. And unfortunately, any and all spin-offs of the original series have not done well with their target audience.
No. I mean, it really is. It's a hard plot to sell.
It is.
Yeah. It's a wonder that the original series even did as well as it did.
I'll tell you why it did as well as it did, okay?
Because of David Hasselhoff.
Because David Hasselhoff was considered attractive, and so it got female viewers, and then David Hasselhoff did whatever he wanted and always landed a chick. So all the guys wanted to be him, all the girls wanted to do him. And the car is real cool, right? Because it has transforming shit. But that is literally just 50% of why that show was successful. The other 50% of it is it's the fucking song. The second that shit hits, everybody goes Hefty.
Fair
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Hell yeah.
Good shit. I'm telling you.
All right. No, I said my piece about Poison Ivy. Did y'all?
Piece of piece. Yep.
Yep.
I said a lot of pieces about Poison Ivy.
Right on. Wait, Brandon, you talked?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
What
No,
was your score?
I thought I went right after Josh.
Oh, maybe not. Well, anyway, if I didn't give my score, 8.25 out of 10. Or sorry, no, 8.5 out of 10. I'll actually raise it because I did really enjoy this issue.
Right on.
Right on.
Uh,
Caw-caw! Brandon, you want to do Birds of Prey?
I suppose I can. Hell of a transition.
just about to say that too.
It's like, what the-
Caw-caw.
if we're done imitating birds, let's talk about some birds. Birds of Prey, number 18, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Juan Cabal, colors by Adriano Lucas, and letters from Clayton Cowles. This issue sees Sin under threat again, kind of as Oracle intercepts a potential threat that some people were referring to Sin as where was it down? The Chosen One are supposedly gearing up to come after her in Gotham City. So Dinah has the bright idea of basically, instead of trying to just run from the fight, go on the offensive this time and make a very easy trap that will lure out whoever is looking to hunt Sin and just confront them head on. So they decide to head up to some nice little lake house that Oracle has for a little vacation / fighting session. We'll have to see where that goes next. Meanwhile, Oracle gets yet another message because it's busy for the Birds of Prey from John Constantine, who is transporting a demon, because of course he is, and needs the help of a couple of birds. There's only 2 at the base right now, so he's just going to have to make do with that. But of course, it's Batgirl and Barda, so I think he'll be fine. They make their way over to a mysterious place called the Seam, where a demon has taken possession of John Constantine, but that apparently is the only way that they can transport that demon back to hell. But unfortunately, there are other people looking to capture that demon before he can be properly returned to hell. And a couple of golems are out in the streets of the Seam looking for him, something which Barda decides to make quick work of in a pretty sick-looking action sequence as Cass tries to help Constantine escort the demon back to hell. But we cut back to the lake house where Sin and Dinah are enjoying some personal time, just as someone is looking in through the skylight after they have enjoyed a nice dinner. What will happen next? Well, you'll have to find out in the next issue. Birds of Prey continues to be great, setting up a new arc, very exciting. We're looking at a reduced birds team for the first time since this book started, which is kind of weird. Only 4 people. Well, not counting Oracle, but 4 people actively in the field, that being Barda, of course, Dinah, Sin, and Cass. So it feels like it's keeping this one pretty tight, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. It feels like it'll be a pretty contained arc, but I'm wondering if this is going to be the status quo for a while or if the next arc is going to bring back some new Birds of Prey. I hope that's the case, but we'll see. But this looks like it'll just be a great arc to allow Sin and Dinah to continue to develop their relationship or rekindle their relationship or whatever, while Cass and Barda fighting demons. So it's cool stuff. But I'm definitely really interested to see where the Sin and Dinah stuff develops and whether or not it's going to have some big impact on their relationship. Very cool to see Juan Cabal doing some stuff at DC. While I was not the biggest fan of some of the later parts of Al Ewing's Guardians of the Galaxy, I did always really like and I know Rob is cringing right now.
This is why it's okay to be wrong sometimes.
I mean, I like the first 12 issues. Everything after that was not for me. But I think
that was awesome.
Anyway, I think most people can agree that the art in Guardians was always pretty good, and Juan Cabal was a big part of that. So cool to see him doing some stuff with Birds of Prey, and hope he sticks around for the rest of the arc. So I'm giving this one. I've given out a lot of 8.5s today, so I will give this an 8.45555 out of 10.
8.
Or maybe I'll give it an
8.499999999.
8.4999. Yeah, that's accurate. No, fuck it. I'll give it an 8.5.
No, you're not allowed.
Okay, then I'll give it an 8.49999.
Yeah, art was really good in this issue. By the way, who did the cover?
I don't know. Let me see. Dan Panosian.
Damn, that's Dan Panosian?
Yeah, it's really good.
God damn.
It's really good. My only note on the cover is that Diana looks a little young. But other than that, it's freaking phenomenal. I mean, honestly, Sin looks a little older than her.
Yeah.
If not the exact same age, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, she is possessed by a 2,000-year-old goddess.
I think that comes with nice skin.
Does it? That feels kind of
weird.
Is that all I need to do to look 18 again? Is be possessed by a 2,000-year-old god?
Ask June Moon.
Rob, who knows?
Everybody
If you
wants
get
to
possessed by a 2,000-year-old ancient deity, you might get hair back again.
BRB,
So I think you know what to do.
BRB.
BRB, quick seance.
Yeah. Going straight to the Parthenon. Let's go.
Let's do this.
I need some candles and some sage. Candles and sage now. Anywho, Birds of Prey, a lot of fun. No, it's also kind of weird to see like the smallest roster in the entire run so far. Not the smallest roster ever, because I think it started with only like 3 people, didn't it?
Well, I think it was
4?
Not counting Dinah, because she was purposely excluded from that first one. It was like 5 or 6, right?
Was it?
Yeah, because Harley, Zealot.
No,
Dinah.
not this run. The original, like ever.
Oh yeah. No, that was like
yeah.
I mean the like first incarnation
very
was
first,
just
yeah,
it was just Dinah and Barbara. It was just 2 people.
Oh, that was it. I thought Huntress was there.
Not till Gail Simone, surprisingly.
I mean, really?
Occasionally you'd have like guest stars. I know Ted Cord was like a recurring character in later issues, but yeah, no, those first missions it was literally just Dinah and Barbara.
Kind of wild, because like Gail Simone, when did she do Birds of Prey?
2003 to like 2011 or something.
Okay, so that might because when did the TV show come out? It was early 2000s, but I thought it was before.
Hey,
so the Birds of Prey, the Birds of Prey title started in 1999. There were a bunch of one-shots, and then got the full series in 99. But Gail Simone didn't take over until like issue 56.
Yeah, but I mean, in the TV show was Oracle, Black Canary, and Huntress.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to remember like if it was before or after the Gail Simone run, because I was under the impression that Huntress was always there.
Yeah, no, surprisingly, no.
Interesting.
Because I mean, at that time, like Huntress would have still. I mean, when Birds of Prey like first started, Huntress might have still been like calling herself Batgirl. I don't know. It's like the tail end of No Man's Land. I could be fudging the timeline with that, but after that, yeah, she was pretty much like not even really a part of the Bat family. It's more like Bat family adjacent. And then, kind of was doing her own thing until 2002 Hush, and that's when they kind of started to bring her in more into the fold, and then she joined the Birds of Prey.
Fair enough. But did you hate that show, Josh?
Huh? Yes.
You did.
Everything about that fucking show.
Oh. I didn't mind it.
You like everything.
I don't like everything.
Just about.
I don't like you sometimes.
It was, well, I mean, that's true of
That goes without
everybody,
saying.
though.
I don't like you when you're mean.
Nobody does.
What channel was that even on? That Birds of Prey show?
Fox, I think.
Something like that. Or CW.
Oh.
Before it was the WB network.
I mean, I had access
Or
to it,
UPN.
so
Yeah.
they had to be on a
Yeah.
channel that was in Canada.
Huh? Oh, well, I mean, you guys could have licensed it at any point.
Could be, but I don't think we did. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I have no idea. I was just wondering.
I mean, if it was Fox, then you did.
I mean, we had Fox. We got access to Fox.
Because you licensed it, right?
No, but I
Did
mean,
you guys
we-
not have
we
have
didn't-
like the WB network?
No.
How the hell did you get all your cartoons? Oh, Teletoon. Never mind.
YTV, Teletoon, yeah, like
Yep.
they licensed
I
it to
forgot
Canadian
for a
networks.
second. Yep.
Yeah. But we had Fox.
I suppose, unfortunately, everybody's got Fox.
Yep.
How else are you supposed to watch
The Simpsons.
Futurama?
Yeah.
Hey, all those shows would have found home at a different network if Fox wasn't there. Just remember that.
Also, a lot of shows that would have lasted more than one season if Fox didn't exist.
That's
Yep.
true.
Yeah. Okay, no, but Birds of Prey. Very interesting story so far. I like that the team is splitting missions, and I'm curious if there's going to be a cross over with the missions at some point, but I kind of hope not. Just like keep them separate right now. I think it's a nice little touch that the Birds of Prey are going to be just with a busy day. Got 2 missions, let's split up, and it works.
Yeah.
It honestly really works. I'm all for that. I wouldn't mind seeing the roster expand just a little. I like that they have a core team that they have in every issue. And then they'll have like a guest star every so often, but I wouldn't mind it expanding just like by 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I mean,
they had
I like
Onyx and I can't remember her other name for the last story arc. I thought they were going to continue, but I guess not.
Yeah, I mean they've had Onyx and Grace Troy and Vixen, and I hope that they continue that model of just bringing in different characters to be parts of the Birds. But yeah, who knows? Could just be this tight little group.
I'm waiting for the arc where Stephanie Brown gets involved.
Oh god, I would love that so much.
You know,
if only for more Stephanie Brown.
Even
There's
just for
all
an issue.
kinds of freaking Gotham characters that they could pull into that. Just Gotham characters alone, and I mean they could.
Or non-Gotham characters. It could be anyone, really.
I mean, I want Stephanie Brown for the sisterhood with Barbara and Cassandra, right? Because they were a tight little group, a trio at one point, and I wouldn't mind even just seeing even just a one-shot story where Stephanie has to get involved with the team, and then you just see like the team cohesion with her and Cassandra in the field. And Barda's just like, holy shit.
That's one thing that I absolutely love about this series is that Barda is best friends with the one person she knows that could beat her ass.
Yeah.
They fought that one time. They fought that one time, and Batgirl started to win, and there was like, okay, done. And then from the rest of the time since then, they compete in video games.
Yeah.
This was not the only issue that has happened seveul times now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Barda's finally tired of it.
Yeah, Barda is tired of it. She crushed her controller this time.
Yeah. Beat me now.
I absolutely love that relationship between the two of them. It's my favorite part of the book, and I like the battle that Sin is having with Majira inside and how they're starting to work together.
Yeah.
That symbiotic, almost Venom-like relationship, but, not quite as homicidal.
You know who I would really love to see on the Birds of Prey for like an issue or an arc? Zatanna.
That would be cool.
Why?
Yes.
What is Zatanna? I know she's getting her series soon, but I'm like, what is Zatanna up to? Where is she? Nobody
Palling
sells
around with
Zatanna.
the robot man.
Yeah. Well,
I
after
want
she's
sexy
done hanging out with Robot
violence.
Man,
Yeah.
she'll hang out with the birds of prey.
Yeah. No, I forgot about that panel with Barda and Cass playing video games, and Barda just screams out, "You can't read body language in a video game." It's like, apparently you can.
Mhm.
That was, oh god, that was perfect.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
tried to wrap my head around how that's possible, but if anybody can do it,
Watching the body
Sandra King.
language of Barda.
Yeah. Okay, but the story, awesome. Art, awesome. Birds of Prey, awesome. I'm hoping this gets to 30 issues as well. This is getting a 9 out of 10.
Right on. I think it was great. I think it was a setup issue. I think it was great though. The art is just as good as always. The Barda and Cass stuff was pretty good. Seeing Black Canary treat Sin as less than something that needs to be protected and more of a teammate this time was really cool. I dig it. I'm not usually a fan of an issue that I feel is just setup, but this was more than that. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Fair enough. I mean, its first issue is definitely a setup issue. You're not wrong.
Yeah, but usually, I feel like those tend to be boring.
Oh yeah,
Well, less boring than what the arc will be.
yeah. That's
But
fair.
this is definitely a little bit more than that. So 8 out of 10 from me.
Right on. All right, from birds to bats. And the
Squeak,
end
squeak.
of a run.
Squeaker, squeaking.
I'm on the wrong page. Holy shit. I had my scores open and not the issue. All right, this is the finale of The Dying City. Are you good, Josh? Just over there squeaking like a bat.
I was trying to do Gronk. Couldn't get him.
Trying to do what?
Gronk from Emperor's New Groove, but I couldn't get him.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about Rob Gronkowski.
No,
player.
Jesus. No. Nope.
If you can do Patrick Warburton, you can do Gronk.
Well, obviously, I just couldn't do it right now. When he talks to that squirrel, Jesus, I love that fucking part.
Yeah, talk about like the best thing David Spade ever did.
Witch poison. Oh my god, I love that one so much.
Yeah. It's honestly a really good movie. All right, so this is the finale of The Dying City and also the finale of Chip Zdarsky's run. We've reached the end.
After
Yes.
2 years, almost 3 years.
Close to it. Yeah, because I think he took
Dang.
over in like a June issue.
Yeah,
I'm
summer 2023.
Yeah.
Feels like ages ago.
You know what else was ages ago? What's coming next month?
Oh. Speaking of dragging things up from the dead.
Yep.
Hush
And we ain't
to
talking
it.
about Jason
Boogaloo.
Todd anymore.
No.
Boy.
Well,
Although we might be. Fuck if I know. Because I'm sure he's going to be part of that story.
I
Gotta
think he's
be
confirmed
some
to be.
kind of
Yeah.
tie into whatever Batman did.
What if it's
Cool.
like, oh my god, you're gonna groan. I know Josh is gonna groan, especially.
Oh, God.
But I'm like,
I'm excited.
if this is just gonna be like a total rehash of Hush, what if it's like, because the whole mystery was like, who is Hush? Do they have a mysterious connection to Batman? And I'm thinking there was the fake out in Hush, obviously, where they thought Jason Todd was Hush, but it was later revealed to be Clayface. And I'm like, wouldn't it be so fucking stupid if they were like, they have the same thing, but instead of Hush being Jason, it's Alfred, and so Alfred just you have the same scene in the graveyard, and Alfred or Clayface pulls off the mask, and it's like it was me, Master Bruce. And you're like,
No.
oh God,
No.
kill me.
Don't. I think
Tell
there's
you
a
it's gonna
chance.
happen.
Who would you guys like to take a vote and see if that part of the episode should be muted?
I will say this: as much as I hate that idea, I would not put it past Jeff Loeb to do it.
If they bring Alfred
That is
back,
so
I'm going to be
terrible.
disappointed.
But no, that's the beauty of it. It's not actually Alfred; it's just Clayface pretending to be
But
Alfred.
you're supposed to think it's Alfred because it's crazy.
So now, because I wasn't reading Batman at the time, so I don't remember the timeline of it. Was it Under the Red Hood first or Hush first?
Hush was first.
Hush was first. Okay, so Jeff Loeb teased
Yeah.
Jason Todd, and then Grant Morrison was
Jason
like, "Fuck
Todd
it, let's
came
just do
back.
it."
Yeah.
Or more, that was like testing the waters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, it was because I think that story had already been in development, but it was like maybe Jason Todd could be back. Because there was like the whole line where Alfred is like, how would it have known what he looked like as an adult? And also, why is Jason Todd's grave empty? That's weird. Like, we should look into that. No, forget it. So anyway, Alfred's coming back.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's great.
he is not coming back.
Yeah, Alfred's coming back as Hush 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yep.
God damn it.
Or oh my god, wait, okay. Or hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Or they do that same thing, like literally history's just gonna repeat itself. They do the same thing where they reveal that this new Hush is Alfred, but it's actually Clayface. And then
Lady Clayface.
3 years from now, we're gonna have Under the Red Hood 2, and Red Hood is gonna be Alfred.
Dear fucking God.
And
It's going to be.
Why did you let me die,
No.
Master Bruce?
I'd rather just
Alfred's
have
gonna be the new Red Hood.
Clayfred and leave it at that.
I'm telling you, it's gonna
Have
happen.
it be Lady Clayface, and then have it come out that Jason Todd was related to Pennyworth.
When did
Now
the
I'm
show
just
become
feeding
the
into
bad
the demon
idea
machine.
central? What the fuck?
No, shut up. This whole part will be redacted.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't wanna give
No,
it
no,
yet,
no, no, no.
because-
I don't even want to talk about Batman anymore. This just soured my whole fucking mood.
You ruined it. You ruined everything.
Or it's discovered that
Oh,
Hush 2 was really a Julia Pennyworth.
Yes.
Jesus.
No. Hush 2 will be Alfred. The new Red Hood is gonna be Julia.
Ah,
You let my father die.
yeah,
Now I want revenge.
yeah.
Get ready. It's coming.
It's coming.
All the bad ideas are coming.
And only happens after Jason Todd is killed unceremoniously a second time.
Yes. Yeah, where's our Death in the Family 2, Electric Boogaloo? That hasn't happened yet.
Fuck. Which is kind of, I mean, technically it was, no, that was A Lonely Place of Dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because, like, all four of the Robins have technically died by now.
Yeah.
But Jason was the only one that had a big enough story. It deserved its own book.
I guess, yeah, Jason was the only one who came back with a vengeance. It's not
Yeah.
like, when Damien came back or when Dick came back, they were Red Hood. Dick just became a super spy and Damien got superpowers.
I mean, also, I hate to bring it up, but it really depends on which time Dick dies you want to prefer.
Yeah.
Right? I would much rather prefer to talk about the super spy time than the other time.
He didn't die.
I mean, yeah, I guess he didn't technically die. It's more like his personality died and also like, to live died.
Dick Grayson died.
Yeah.
The
Dick
body
Grayson
didn't. Yeah.
And any
He went
hopes
from
of me
Dick Grayson
purchasing
to
Nightwing
Ick
died.
Grayson.
Yeah.
That's what happened when you drop the D.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta be careful.
Speaking of things ending, Chip Zdarsky's run, the Dying City finale. This is, as I said, written by Chip Zdarsky, with art from Jorge Jimenez and Tony Daniel.
Nice.
Colors from Tomomori and letters from Clayton Cowles, with the cover from Jimenez and Mori. And variant covers by Jimenez and Mori. And Daniel and Mori. And Tony Harris.
Oh,
Jeremy Clark. Yeah. All right, so I was about to we pick up where we left off last issue, and I was just jumping into where Batman is being whispered to by the Whisper Black Sun. I'm like, wait, no, that's the wrong Batman book. That's the other one. God damn it. All right, so Batman is taking off as fast as he can after a jet that is headed to Russia, which contains none other than Leonid. Can't remember his last name, but the Russian spy. Yeah, Leonid Kull, that's what it is. I knew it started with a K. And he gets on the jet as it's taking off, blows a hole in the side, takes out a bunch of the guards inside, but Leonid starts to get a bit of a drop on him because Batman is being sucked out of the plane because his cape is getting too much drag. Leonid lets off a few shots, which in a cylindrical tube in the sky, never a good idea. You dumbass.
Yep.
Batman deflects one of the shots off his gauntlet. 3 of the shots go through the cockpit door, kills one of the pilots, and destroys the control panel. And the other shot that got deflected ended up back in Leonid and hit him right in the chest. So, not a great move, you dumbass. Batman, despite blowing up a portion of the plane, is now able to close the door. That part I didn't get because it was definitely an explosion and he put a bomb on the door, but now he's able to close it. I don't know how that happened.
I don't think he closed. I don't think the bomb was on the door. I think the bomb was on the other side of the plane, and then the door opened, which is why he almost got sucked out of the plane. He was able to shut the door, and it stopped that negative pressure.
But then there's still a hole in the...
Right, but it's not negative pressure then. It's just...
Nah, there's some scorch marks on that door hole.
You never mind his door hole.
I don't know. It's still fucking weird, but that's neither here nor there. So he's able to take out Leonid. Well, Leonid took out himself, gets as much information out of him as possible, just to finish off the mystery as why Commander Starr and why tear down what Bruce Wayne was building, to which Leonid reveals that's all about Gotham City, and it's basically the epitome of United States for Russia. How Gotham is basically a boogeyman, and they need to conquer it. But then he dies. So Batman heads to the cockpit.
Together, I'm sending you to Gotham.
Batman then heads to the cockpit, and the co-pilot tells him that the controls are dead and they're heading straight for the city. So Batman gets on radio to Harvey Bullock, who is on the street outside the Nigmatech Tower, where the explosion had went off at the end of last issue, in the office of Edward Nigma, where Jim Gordon was with him. Jervis Tetch was also there, if you remember. He comes downstairs with a whole bunch of people that he has mind controlled, basically rescuing them from the bombs, but also having them defuse bombs because they were the ones that set them. And then he turns himself in, gives his hat to the police because he didn't want anything to do with this. This was all basically against his will. In Nigma's office, still, excuse me, is Jim Gordon, Riddler, and the other person whose name I don't remember, but she doesn't really get seen again after this panel. Nigma goes to Jim and starts yelling at him about how he has nothing and he's got nothing to lose and he has everything to Jim has nothing to lose and Nigma has everything to lose, and he finally did something, but then the floor gives way, they start to fall out. Jim just barely holds on, while Nigma is hanging on by a little ledge of rock. Nigma figures that there's no point to this, so he just lets go. Jim goes after him, leaps to, and thanks to Batman giving him the utility belt, grabs Nigma and uses a grappling hook to swing them back into the building through a window, saving their lives together. With Jim finally saying, "I'm not a good man, Nigma, but I'm doing my best." And that's where their story ends for now. Meanwhile, Batman is on the plane, heading straight for the city. Excuse me, where he has gotten on the horn to Bullock that he is incoming hot, tells him exactly what street he's going to land on, and needs a good portion of that street cleared for 5 blocks, get everybody out of the way. So Bullock gets to all available units on the radio and tells them what they need to do, and then to clear this whole section. And then Vandal Savage, police commissioner, gets on the radio, counter that, and says, belay that order. This is just a distraction from Batman. Just stay where you are. Bullock says, fuck Vandal Savage. Let's go. So Batman does what he needs to do to minimize as much damage as possible. It's an 80-foot span for the block, for the street, but the plane has a 90-foot wingspan, so he needs to take out the wings. He unfortunately doesn't have any explosives, but he has ignitable putty and has to unfortunately use firearms because it's the only way to blow the wings off the plane. He does it. The plane is now thin enough to land on the streets, and as the plane lands, when it doesn't blow up somehow, he flies out of the windshield and saves, I believe it was the Wayne Tech board member that was working with him at the time, from being hung by Commander Starr. He screams out his name, Anatoly Nyazev, because it's KG Beast, and goes straight for Commander Starr's face. And they begin a gigantic fight, back and forth. Blades come out, punches, kicks, all sorts of stuff. But Batman gets the upper hand because he is just angry. Is able to take down Commander Starr, even chops off his hand, giving him the old KG Beast look again. And as he realizes that the people are staring at him, he slows down, puts the blade down, and walks off into the night, knowing that he did win. He saved the city. It just doesn't feel like it. A week later, he goes to the free clinic where his supposed brother works. His supposed brother never actually looked at the DNA results, just the people tried to convince the people that convinced him he is a Wayne and told him to go after the company, kind of pressured him into believing it is true. And he never really wanted to do any of that because he feels sorry for Bruce. He sees all the stuff that he goes on, that he does with his life, and it just doesn't seem like a good life. And Bruce kind of seems like a mess, and he doesn't want that for himself. He does have DNA tests that the lawyers kept from him, but he picked it up after they left. He didn't even bother to look, but it doesn't matter to him because Thomas Wayne isn't his father, and all be all. Whether he is or isn't doesn't matter. He's happy enough to be who he is.
Because he doesn't want the money.
Exactly. He doesn't want that responsibility, that level of wealth, that change in who you are, because end of the day, that money is going to change who you are, and he just wants to be him. He doesn't want to be like Bruce. So
he wants to be happy, and he's happy right now.
Exactly. So Bruce leaves, gets in a car with Leslie Tompkins, and they head off together. Now, Batman's next problem, as Leslie points out, is Jim Gordon. How do you deal with that? Because Jim is in a dark place as well. They meet on a rooftop and share a cup of coffee, and Jim is questioning his entire decision-making process over the last few years. The private detective business is kind of faltering, and he just doesn't feel like a good man anymore. So he's thinking he might go back to the force and try to do some good on the inside. However, with Vandal Savage still the police commissioner, he knows he's going to end up as a beat cop again. So he needs to do some soul searching and really think about what's happening next. um, Batman reassures them that you didn't kill Mayor Nakano. It was all Nigma. But then Jim reveals that you did see the glasses, and our tech guys ran all the tests. And when Chris punched me, the glasses broke. They stopped working. The gun still fired. That was all me. Batman ends their conversation as he gets called away to a police break-in on the police radio. Not a police break-in. The police aren't breaking into anything yet. That we're all flawed. Both of us are human. There's no way to get around that. All we can do is try to be good men, and that is where it ends.
Yep. You guys get the feeling that he was willing to forgive Jim for shooting that guy because he had to use guns?
I think he was willing to forgive Jim because he also went to a dark place during that fight with.
Yeah, that's
Commander
what
Starr.
I meant.
Yeah, not necessarily because he had to use guns. Like in that fight with Commander Starr.
But that's where I feel like
so pissed off at.
Well, that was
the whole situation.
Notice that they use the exact same phrasing where Bruce is furious and he's like, "I'm just going to let my righteous anger, flow through me and give me the strength that I need." And Jim, the last thing he says is that, like, I just wanted to feel justified in my own righteous anger towards Nakano and saving Koyuki. So I think the idea is that both of them are flawed. Both of them have undergone severe moments of anger and frustration where they just kind of let it out and did something that was irresponsible, but they're trying to be better men.
Yeah, I guess what I was saying is, I mean, when Batman had to use those guns is when he started to get pissed off.
I mean, that didn't help, but I think he was pissed off before that because it's the entire situation. It's the Court of Owls, it's Russia, it's Commander Starr, it's his brother taking over his company, supposed brother, secret family. It's all this shit happening at once, and then the final straw is, I have to use guns now? Motherfucker.
Yep.
That and like all of this stuff is happening while he's actually trying to do something productive for the city.
Yeah. Yep. He's actually trying to do what all these fanboys have said for years. Why doesn't Bruce Wayne just use his money?
He had to wait for his kid to do it, show him how, but now he's doing it.
Well, okay. If I can go on a brief tangent for a while, they've firmly established for years that Bruce has been very generous with charities and all this.
Yes,
that's true.
That argument was already old, like 10 years ago. But also, I think that criticism is incredibly disingenuous. It's actually something that I think Philip Kennedy Johnson might be picking up on, which is throwing money at a problem does not always solve the problem.
Exactly.
It alleviate certain things, but actually going, volunteering, being an active part of, an underserved community is what makes the difference. Not just like, let me sign a check for $500 million.
Yeah, it's true. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, there's all kinds of people that are picking and lining their pockets with that too. Exactly. Unfortunately, he gets to get in there and hands-on do it, like Leslie Tompkins do that shit,
Yeah. And if you want my cheap answer, if Bruce Wayne just did that, then there wouldn't be a Batman, and there wouldn't be any story to have this conversation about, so we wouldn't be having the argument.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah. So your argument's still null and void.
Also, it's a fucking comic book. Like,
yes. Like, damn, I've
Can-
had some
can
pretty
he-
heavy
can
arguments
he
about
be-
comic books too, but it's
Yeah,
a
I'm
comic book. Let's relax a little
can
bit.
he be Batman in the action comic book that we're paying $4 for, and also give money to charity? Can they have two things at once?
No,
Apparently not. Like if
I
you want
I
a
read Richie Rich as a kid. I don't need to read it
yeah,
again.
if you
No.
want a realistic story where he just gives money to charity and helps volunteer at homeless shelters, that's cool. But it's also boring. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Fucking socialists.
Like it's not
That's depressing.
yes, it is.
Uh,
That's so fucking depressing.
Yeah,
Have you guys already given your score for Batman number
not
157?
yet. I just want to comment on the art. I didn't realize at first that Tony Daniel was a guest artist on this, but it was cool to see. However, before I started my review, I went back to like look and see where the difference in art was, and I noticed that Tony Daniel did the panels in Enigma's office with Jim Enigma only, and I think with Jervis Tetch as well, and they did not look as good as I remember, which kind of worries me. That wasn't great.
I feel like that could be because you were going back looking for the differences and then lined up. I mean,
It was
Tony
mostly
Daniel's a little
Jervis
different.
Tetch,
yeah.
right? Especially when you're also comparing it to Jorge Jimenez, which
That's
is a
what I'm
hard
saying.
thing to do on a good day. But Jervis Tetch is also one ugly as sin, motherfucker. No matter who's drawing him.
Yeah.
So it's
this
not
is
a great
bad.
idea to like judge someone's art based off of Jervis Tetch's face. But that's what I did. So I need to like take another look at it, maybe look at the Nigma and Gordon panels, but like, yeah, it just didn't give me the same vibes that it did back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
But I still liked it. I still liked the issue. I was hoping for like it's gonna sound weird, like a bigger ending to Zdarsky's run, because this felt like a pretty big story, right? But it kind of ended in not really lackluster, but like almost a simple fashion, right? Like there wasn't any gigantic resolution to the overall run.
It
While
was
this did
Batman
feel,
taking down a billionaire and somebody that was coming over like
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. That
AGB's
was
acting far right.
Yeah, that was something that I was
Yeah.
going to bring up in my
Smush.
review, just
The
because it felt like for all of the grand stuff that happened throughout this run with Failsafe and Zuranar, and,
the
going
the
to different
multiversal
realities.
stuff,
yeah, all of that stuff, like it felt like this issue or this arc really might have needed I don't know, some kind of bigger statement.
yeah,
reflecting
something
on
more
the run as a whole.
bombastic.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
that just like kind of puts all of that shit to rest.
Yeah,
And it felt like the sentence that I wrote in my notes for this book was satisfying end to this arc, not so satisfying end to the run as a whole.
yeah,
And it just something about it felt like I didn't get that catharsis that I would have liked to really just kind of say, oh, okay, this era of Batman has come to a close.
yeah,
Because this arc felt like it could have been anywhere. It could have been before all of this stuff with Failsafe.
Or even like a filler story if like
Yeah,
they're waiting in between Failsafe and Absolute Power, etc. And there's like,
Yeah,
this happens in between. But yeah, it's like for a capper to a run as bombastic and big as Zdarsky's was, just feels a little lacking.
Mm.
But that's not to say the story was bad. The story was actually, like you said, like the story was really good. The arc was really good. It just, in comparison to the whole run,
yeah, just weird placement is
yeah,
the problem. So, I'll have to go back through the rest of the run. But honestly, I feel like wherever that Zur-En-Arr story ended felt like the more like conclusive end to this era of Batman, whereas this just kind of felt like a satisfying Batman arc, but not really a satisfying end to the run as a whole.
Yeah.
So,
Like, how do you go from this motherfucker fell from space and survived
Yeah.
to he's beating up a Russian, like, not paraplegic, but like amputee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, some days are busy. Some days,
some
days
days are quieter. Yeah.
some days you.
Some days you're fighting a killer robot. Some days you're fighting a Russian amputee. It's just
Exactly. Like
some
not
days it's a
every
Monday,
day-
some days it's a Tuesday.
not every day you can. Not every day you can fall from space and fight an evil robot and go to different dimensions. Some days are going to be a little more low key. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe you're dealing with a bank robbery. Maybe you're taking out a Russian assassin who tried to kill the president. And then maybe one day you're in a different dimension. Who knows? But
Yeah.
every day is
You
different.
know?
It's okay to do that too. It's called self-care.
Exactly.
Oh, go to a
You can't
different
always
dimension.
be, doing
Which
a high
part's
octane.
the self-care?
Taking it easy and not diving in from space, just going after some street level dick.
Oh, okay.
Speaking
I
of
thought
Dick,
you
I
said, like,
really wish
fighting a Russian
Nightwing
assassin.
would have come here to beat the shit out of Commander Star. That would have been great. But I think the wrap up works well for the arc. Again, for this story, it was awesome. Got Batman wanting to be much more Bruce, Gordon moving on from his depression. Full wrap up, great dialogue, fantastic art. But I do feel like I mean, 2 word summary, weird placement. It definitely should have came at a different time. But having kicked it off with failsafe, I can't imagine a period where it would have made sense to put it in.
Yeah.
So the only real alternative was to cut Zdarsky's run short, and I think what this did was, with all the big, huge, bombastic things that Batman has been going through, at the end of the day, he had to go through a very humanizing story.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that it might have been on his Substack newsletter that this arc was kind of like a placeholder in between his run coming to an end and the start of the Jeff Loeb Jim Lee Hush 2. Because it sounded like maybe he had finished his story with the Hush, or not the Hush, the Zur-En-Arm conclusion, whatever issue that was.
Right.
So this was kind of like, okay, well, do you have anything else before we get into the big Hush thing? And like, well, I guess I got this
Patriotic Nazi he could
Mouse
punch.
story. So yeah, so I don't know if that's. I have to fact check that to make sure those were his words, but I get the sense that maybe this was like just kind of a simple, relatively grounded Batman story before leaving the book. But the real main story, the big epic story that we've been following since issue 125, that wrapped up back in 149 or whichever issue.
Yeah. That's fair.
So
Let's do like a quick little political commentary arc.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's fair. Because yeah, you got a point. Like the last arc did kind of feel like a better ending to the run. Like I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, it does, like, weird placement, but if it wouldn't have fit anywhere else, you know what I mean? So it's either throw it in at the end or you can't have it at all. I'll take it. It wasn't bad. Just consider this Zdarsky Volume 2. The mini edition.
The mini
not
edition.
Not the maxi edition.
Yeah. So it's only
Yeah.
like a 5-issue arc.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm just
I
not
give this an
looking
8.5 out of
forward
10.
to fucking Hush 2.
No, I'm not. I don't. Does anybody want Hush 2?
Jeff Loeb,
Other than Jeff Lowe?
Jim Lee.
Come now.
That's it. And we lost Brandon, it looks like.
I was trying to figure out what the hell.
Yeah, maybe his laptop died.
Maybe.
That sucks. So I can vamp for a little bit till we get him back. But yeah, I'm giving it an 8.25 out of 10. We unfortunately do not have Brandon's score right now, but hopefully we get him back very soon. Who's the editor on Batman books right now?
Oh hell, I don't know. Give me
I
just a
have the
second, and
issue
I will take a
open.
look.
I could look Rob Levin.
There you go.
Yeah, so him. He also wants Hush too.
Yeah. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about,
Yeah.
and neither does Jim Lee.
Well,
First
I don't
time
know
I could
about Jim
say
Lee.
I disagree with Jim Lee.
It wasn't necessarily his idea. He's just the artist. Right?
Sometimes you must stand and protest.
I mean,
The synopsis on Legal Comic Geeks for the next issue: the hotly anticipated sequel to the smash hit storyline.
By who?
They need to let it go.
yeah, please.
Right? Why are we having a Hush too? I mean, did you test the waters with Shush and think that
Well,
that was a good
also, I
idea?
mean, the thing that gets
But
me is like they're acting like this is the first sequel to Hush, but they've had like three,
yeah, right.
both of which
But we're only
were
calling this
done.
Hush 2.
Yeah, both of which I think were honestly done kind of better than the story of Hush. Maybe not so much the artwork, but Paul Dini did like two Hush sequels in Detective Comics, and they're really good and would probably and will probably be regarded better sequels than whatever Hush 2 is going to be. But I'm going to try and remain optimistic.
I don't know. I'm gonna try and be optimistic about it too, because his Long Halloween series is really good. I liked it, so I'm gonna give it a chance.
Do y'all want?
That is until Alfred shows up as Hush.
Well,
Shut
here's the
up!
thing. Do
I
y'all
keep
do y'all
saying
want
that.
the spoiler-free synopsis for 159, the
Wait,
second issue of Hush 2?
no.
It's spoiler-free.
How can it be spoiler free? Go ahead.
Um, well, for starters, the first word is hush. Continues with Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee, but to make it fancy, they spell it H2SH.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I don't know. At the very least, maybe you
Hello,
switch
2010 horror movie.
the S and the 2 might make it look nicer. I don't know. It's just stupid. But then it says, after
Yeah.
the shocking events of the last issue, Batman must make the hardest decision of his life. So maybe
boy.
Brandon's right.
Yep. I hope I'm wrong.
Guest starring Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood. So maybe Brandon's right.
About Clayface
Like,
being Alfred.
Alfred, yeah.
I really hope I'm wrong, but also that would be kind of hilarious if that happened
Vomit.
in the worst way.
Look, there's this uncanny knack we have of saying things months in advance and they come true.
Yeah, I know.
If this
and
happens,
it pisses me
I'm
off because it's
blaming you.
always. Yep.
I mean, I didn't
Yep.
write it.
No, you've
No, but you
I
spoken
just
into
said it was your
existence.
tongue. Oh God,
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen, but I'm
We
afraid
can do it
might.
for comic books and action figures. You know this. Be careful with the power.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess my rationale is like it's too stupid. No one would ever sink that low.
Have
But
you
maybe-
paid attention
maybe
to the
I'm
news
wrong.
lately?
Yeah.
Too stupid is the new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought hopefully comic book creativity would be different from politics, but maybe the stupidity is just everywhere now.
Yep.
Alfred really will be Hush.
Yep. Stupid.
Stupid will be
Stupid
Red
is the new normal, and then now, oh, honey is the new stupid. It's like you
Yeah.
feel bad for the person. You're like, oh, do you want an apple in a helmet?
An apple and a helmet.
Never. That's from a Johnny Knoxville movie, The
Oh,
Ringer.
No.
I like apple. It's anyway.
There's some really cool variant covers, so I'm about to send you a Dan Mora cover for next issue.
oh, nice.
Anything that Dan Moore draws is.
Right? It does look good. It's very simple, but it looks fucking good.
All right.
Yeah.
Brandon, what was your score for Batman 157?
I will give this an 8 out of 10.
Right on. I think I said it, but I'm gonna say it again. 8.25 out of 10.
And 8.5 out of 10. So that's that. Now look, I've parked the website. We've still got email contact at the geekmatrixpod.com or comics at the geekmatrixpod.com, either one. You reach out to talk to us there. We've deleted the honorable mention section, so I feel as though perhaps we should offer the people a little extra for that. Let's do top 3 favorite moment and favorite cover.
Ooh, shit! I'm not prepared for that.
Here, I can help with that.
Okay, so I got Batman, got Birds of Prey. That's a contender. Poison Ivy 1 and 2. Those are also contenders. I'll put them together. Shazam, JSA, Atom Project. That one's fucking wild. Ooh, and the Geek Matrix.
Dun dun dun.
I know
didn't
what
want
my
to leave
top
it on one cover.
2 are. But no, I think I know. I think I know what my favorite cover is going to be.
All right. Well, my top 3 books are going to be number 3, Justice League: The Atom Project. Number 2, Batman, and number 1, Ivy. By far number 1. My favorite moment is in the Atom Project. They're tracking down Captain Atom's missing powers, and they hear a huge roar. When someone asks, "What in the hell was that?" the Atom says, "That sounds like a very unhappy problem."
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And then because of how it does indeed look like it is a double page spread of a cover and how damn cool it is, I'm going to go with Poison Ivy 30. But a runner up for me would be Justice League: The Atom Project. That is just really great.
Right on.
Agreed.
Uh,
For me, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's see. For me, I have at number 3. Damn, I just had it in my head. Poison Ivy at 3, Birds of Prey at 2, and JSA number 4 at 1. Favorite moment of the week has to be from Birds of Prey when Barda like breaks the fourth wall for a second and swings, like uses one of the barriers between panels to swing and attack one of the golems. And I was like, that is so awesome. I
That
love
was pretty
when
cool.
comics can do that.
Holy shit! I don't think I caught that. I gotta go check that
Yeah,
out.
no, it's really cool because like when you see it, you're like, what is she swinging on? But she's like gripping onto the white like barrier
panel
between the
edge,
two
yeah.
panels. Yeah,
That's
it's really
so
cool.
cool.
But favorite cover, if not Birds of Prey, probably Batman. I mean, Jorge never really misses with some of these covers, and I just love
No, he doesn't.
the intensity of the moment between Bruce and Commander Starr really captures some of the brutality you get in the actual issue. So,
Yep.
good stuff. Actually, I honestly almost want to give a shout out to, because I know there was a variant cover for Batman 157 that was an homage to the first issue of Chip's run 125. And I don't, maybe Josh can pull it up, but I also thought that was really cool.
I'll have to look at it later. But all right, Rob, have you had time to make your decision yet?
Yes. So number 3, I'm going to have Shazam. Number 2 is going to be Birds of Prey. Number 1 is going to be Poison Ivy. My favorite moment, I honestly have had a few throughout all of the books we've done
Yep.
this week. But I think I'm gonna have to go for now with Billy just fanboying over Damien in Shazam, which was that's the side little like background fun stuff I've come to really appreciate and love with this Shazam run. Is you're not just getting a story, you're also getting some childlike fun, and it's just brings so much out of it.
Mhm.
You get a little bit extra. Favorite cover was also going to be Poison Ivy, but if we're all going different, going to be Birds of Prey.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that Poison Ivy cover is fucking stellar. And like I said, I'm counting both covers in one because it does look like a connecting splash page cover, but it is
Mhm.
also either way same issue flip book. They just
Awesome
looks
covers.
so fucking good. But that Birds of Prey cover
And
is
there's
also
two.
just yeah, chef's
Really,
kiss.
out of all the books that were released this week, there's only one that isn't perfect, and that's Two Face #3. Everything else is really, really good this week.
I wasn't
Like
sold on the
every single
Shazam
cover.
cover. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
No,
I think it looked like classic Shazam. Like just happy he's hanging with a kid because he's a kid,
I
kind
there
of.
was it was a lot of dead space for me. I get they were flying in the sky. It left so much dead space to really
Without it
be
being
like
just
eye
white
catching,
out. Yeah, that's true.
right?
I'll give you that for sure.
At least the Two Face cover had to do with the story in the issue, which
Yeah.
is really rare these days.
Oh God, yes. Definitely. All right. Well, I guess that is the show. So we're gonna split. You probably should too. You'll look weird staring at a blank computer screen. Remember, if you got a
Unless you're
problem
on the
with Canadian geese, then you got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that one marinate.
and yes, listener, that does not sound as good with an American accent.
It doesn't matter. All right, everybody. Have a good one, and thank you for watching The Geek Matrix.
Peace.
Ouch.